Cameras in line. Okay, we can set that there. Now, there we go. All right, y'all, take a moment to share the broadcast. Boom. I think I got something cracking. How y'all feeling this morning? Take a moment to share the broadcast. Whoa! Sonia, let's get Amisha too. So you got Westwood 1 for 7? All right, so do 7, do them, and then 7:15 call me. Because I'm not super up on this Mueller report. And I talked to her this morning, so she was like, she'll do it too. And then
We can cancel Westwood 1.
Can we?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's cancel Westwood 1 and let's put, I'd rather do it from a black perspective. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so then let's do this. She doesn't have the number. I'm going to text it to her. You going to call her? Okay, cool. Good morning.
I never had that. Never. But there you go.
Polo shirt, but it's made entirely.
All right, y'all. Take a moment to share the broadcast. Share the broadcast. Share the broadcast. I think I finally got my settings right. I think I got my cameras. I think I got my angles. I'm pretty excited about this. All right, y'all. Who's rocking with me early this morning? Shout out to everybody on YouTube who I don't ever talk to. What's up to? What up, Corey Mack? I see you, bro. You doing the YouTube thing, man? Okay. Let me go to Maze.
Alright, so you get Westwood 1 and Will at 7:30.
So wait, why Westwood?
I mean, I mentioned cancel Westwood 1.
Okay.
And you get what's his face at 7.
Okay, cool. Thank you. All right, who's rocking with me this morning? What's up, Malike Oyuba? What up, Tiger Lily? Bueller. What up? I feel like I got them both. I got the angle here, and I got the angle. I'm at the right height. You can see my shirt. And so I'm feeling good about things. I've been, I think when I get a little discombobulated, there's not a lot of time to sit in the studio and just get your vibe right. Especially this new one. Just because there's so many people. I mean, the way it's set up, it's just hard to, it's just a whole new vibe. What's up, man? Oh, you dressed to cook today, huh?
Hey, I told you I was meeting Brandon Johnson.
Oh.
I'm still trying to teach that 19-year-old. It's tough.
It's hard to teach them at 19 if you ain't got it before then.
Well, I've been working on that. She said it works. But I guess that's children. I'm trying to teach them how to live with somebody else. You got to take care of things so people want to live with you.
Todd, do you have on brand new baby powder?
What?
You closed the door and it smelled like baby powder. Do you use baby powder degree or something? Because it may have been activated when you walk in here.
That's probably.
Do you have degree? Do you wear degree?
Is that blue?
Yeah.
I think it is.
Yeah,
Usually
so-
I don't like smells, but I made a mistake. And I got
Okay,
one.
so clearly, let me tell you, what's so funny is you closed that door and I was like, damn, you have on degree.
And I wear that every day.
I wear degree every day too. But it clearly kicked in on you because it's hot as hell. And you about to cook, dog. You gonna sweat out your meeting before you go see Brandon. I went to a fundraiser last night.
Oh, where's the fundraiser?
Nick Smith.
Oh, Nick's good guy.
Y'all, it seems like it's getting hotter in here.
I think so. It's hotter than it was yesterday.
Huh? I said I think it's getting hotter in here.
It is. It's look at you. I don't know why you came with a long sleeve. It's so.
Right, you need to take that off.
I'm
girl,
taking this
because
off.
you gotta
You
eat.
do what Titus do. Titus be strict.
Yeah.
It's getting worse.
Like, I'm scared though. Yesterday my phone shut down because they overheated. So I just think we might need to bring an air conditioner in here. My thing is,
Yeah.
like, they might just need to buy some standalone blowing air conditioners because all this stuff is kicking up a crazy amount of heat. I'm just scared it's gonna burn.
Well, you know what? Already we started having stuff in here.
They need to just
Yeah,
buy a
shut
big.
down.
They need to buy a big portable air conditioner that just keeps that they could run like, you know, when you do an outside event and they air conditioner,
Yeah.
you could just run tubes into these places just to knock it down until. I'm not like hating. I'm just saying like.
But no, this is all new equipment that she's very proud of.
So I don't want it to be on fire one day
Exactly.
and they cook.
Well, you know what? It might not catch on fire, but I done had 2 days in a row stuff was shutting down.
That's my point.
Yeah.
But I'm saying when I say catch on, like, you know how when your computer kicks the fan on, or what? Dang, y'all gotta start. Okay, close the door. I got a show to do. Y'all gotta say something to me when the show is going. Oh my God.
Wow.
Wake up, Chicago. Wake up, world. This is the WVON Morning Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. I got my man, Todd Stroger, in the building. Todd, how you feeling, man?
I am feeling great. Nothing better than a Friday after Passover.
A Friday after. Oh, so you celebrate Passover, man? I didn't know. So I thought you were
I
Catholic.
like to go to a Seder with, they have Seders where they invite everybody.
Oh, not a Seder.
You know, it's the meal.
The meal.
Because, in Passover, they serve certain things they serve certain things to mimic what they ate before the Exodus.
Was it unleavened bread? I thought it was like bread and, what was it? Bread and what?
You're right, unleavened bread is part of it.
Didn't they kill was it a goat or was it a sheep?
I think it would be a lamb.
Okay, so they had some lamb. What else they have?
Man, you're testing my memory.
Is
My
it
memory's
spread?
not that good,
Okay.
We didn't do it last night.
Todd, see, you said your memory's not that good. You must have been celebrating 420 early. Ha! It's
I
actually.
forgot what 420 was.
Oh my God! See
You
that?
told me that yesterday.
You've been celebrating too good. All right, y'all. Well, I want to tell y'all
I
what.
remember now.
See, that's exactly how it usually works too. Look, it is the WVON Morning Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. That voice you heard in the background is my co-host, Todd Stroger. Y'all, let's say what's up to the rest of the WVON Morning Show team. What's up to Annette Flournoy in the newsroom? Annette, how you feeling this morning? You know what? A lot of people have the day off or they get off early today. I guess, like, being on the morning show, we're kind of immune to all of this stuff. Like, they be like, yeah, day off starts. Exactly. They be like, you know what? I got Ruthie's email this morning that said, hey, just, guys, the office is closing early today at 1 o'clock. Right, 1 o'clock. That office closes early. Like, what's a half day for the morning show? There is no such thing, is it?
Nope.
You know what? It's either a holiday or you back your butt right back in this seat. All right, that was Annette Flournoy. Let me say what's up to the rest of the WVON Morning Show team. What's up to my man Titus? Titus, man, you made it the whole week. You know what? People getting I always say when you are not a regular for the morning show, I'm always waiting for the moment in which the epic fail happens, where they wake up, they drank too much the night before. Man, you did the dang thing, man. How you hey man, you got your wings. Well, you already had your wings, but I think we gonna move you up from. You know what? You gonna go fit in the what do they call that? Not like you like the deputy pilot from now. You got my
Like
intro.
I told you, there used to be a navigator. There were 3 people. pilot, the co-pilot, and the navigator.
Okay, so you have now moved up to navigator status on the plane, and you know, in case the musical conductor is not here, you are always good to fill in. Congratulations, thank you very much. Look, man, but when the plane got to take off on Mondays, that's the day we got to get off the ground. Sonia. Y'all talking about on my Monday trying to get the plane off the ground, but you know what? That's why you the man. You had to jump the car. Let me say what's up to my super producer, Miss Sonia Tompkins, with the new hairstyle. It's still kicking in. How you feeling, Sonia? Loose. See, that's the problem. Loose battery. You know.
The connectors, you got to make sure they're clean. Yes, I had a lot of battery troubles when I was in a strange state. Then one day I said, hey, I'm gonna change my battery, and that worked.
You know what? In the strange state, what state were you in?
I think it was Indiana.
Oh, look. You gotta get to safe spots in Indiana. Like there's like when you're in Indiana, you go to Gary, then you go to Maryville. You make sure you got gas in between those. Then you gas all the way up. The next time you stop, if you on 65, is when you get to Purdue, right? If you ain't got it then the next time you stop is probably Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Right? Then you better gas up in Indianapolis and get on up out of there. Because after you get past Indianapolis, it's not a lot of safe space. Now, you can go to Marion, or you can go to Muncie. Marion, Indiana.
Or you can go down to that spa place where Larry Bird used to live.
Oh, not Pigeon Forge. I know what you're talking about. But anyway, look, y'all, let's do this. Let's get the Soul Plane up to 50,000 feet. Let's have a great time. You know, we're going to get super high today because it is the Let's take it to 60,000 so we can just take it up just a little bit more. Because you know, let me tell y'all, tomorrow is 420, Todd. And I think that it is this is probably the last illegal 420 in the history of the state of Illinois. Because they are going to pass legal cannabis will be in effect on January 1st is my bet.
Mm-hmm.
Todd, will you be celebrating 420 next year?
Nah, I don't smoke.
You don't smoke? Well, see, Todd, now they got all types of things. See, you can eat, you can have a brownie, you can have a cupcake, gummy bears. I'm telling you, my cousin tells me.
I like me as I am.
Huh?
I like me as I am.
My cousin tells me you might like yourself better with a gummy bear or two, or a brownie. But look, it is also Easter weekend, so that's also going to be, listen to me also. You know, that goes to a whole point that we're going to talk about today on our social media question of the day. But let me run through some of these headlines. Okay, Todd. And in another Kim Foxx headline, 2 more people are leaving the office, the chief ethics officer, as well as the person who recused Kim Foxx from the case.
You mean?
Yeah, the person who wrote the letter to recuse Kim Foxx from being in the case is now officially leaving as well. Let me see. I think I have the names. April Perry.
They didn't do her any justice. So.
April Perry, the chief ethics officer, and Mark Rodert both announced that they will be leaving the office. Now, I don't know if that is I don't know if that is forced resignation, or do you think a purge is happening right now?
Yeah, that is you leaving, but not of your own
Volition?
Yeah, but it's better this way than to say we fired them and kicked them out.
Now, you know what I used to advise my candidates when they got into a position and it required people. I learned this a long time ago from our guy who tells you, hello, got Swanee, he always engaged. He said that on day one, when you have exempt employees, you should make them give you their resignation letter the day they're hired.
Every exempt had to sign a resignation letter. They all didn't want to, but they all did. You made your exempt employees sign it, you made them sign resignation letters up front? They serve at the will of the president.
Did you hear that? They serve at the will of the president. Did you hear that? And so
some of us didn't understand that they thought they were just professionals.
See, you know what, we're gonna talk about that too, because you know what, sometimes people so smart they stupid.
Exactly.
It's the Talk Chicago 1690. We'll be back with the rest of this when we come back. Okay, so I want you to explain that, because this is something that I think that a lot of people need to hear out loud. And maybe not hear from me, but here. So Todd, you are the president or the chief executive officer, and you have a staff of employees. Now, some of those people are civil servants, and they're not protected. But when you have staff that are exempt employees, explain to me what that means, and when it means serve at the pleasure of the president, and why it was customary to get a letter of resignation before, even when they start.
So in government, you have certain employees, like all your department heads. So I had 28 department heads, and so we had 28 deputies. There would be other officers in the departments where they might be doing things that were very, I guess you could say that it was like part of the public policy, and the policy comes from the top. So in there, like your administrative assistants, some secretaries who dealt with certain people like your CFO or something, they could be in that group, and they served at the will of the president because they had public policy position. So that just means that the president could say, look, I don't like what you're doing, you gotta go. Now, there's a fine line where you gotta stay within, all these ethics things, like, I can't fire you because you're 85. I've gotta fire you because this is a political move. I want, instead of you, I'm gonna to hire Sonia and put her in the position because Bill Beaver's asking. So, at the beginning of the term, you have all these employees, and you want them to know that they are actually serving at your will. It's not, you're just not here because you're smart.
That's what people get. People think they so goddamn smart when they get these
Right.
jobs.
There's always a smart person.
Right,
You
go
can always
ahead.
find smart people.
Go ahead.
So you're not just supposed to be smart, you're also supposed to have some loyalty where you are not giving away things until it's time to do it, basically. I mean, no one's ever asking you to cheat, but what they are asking you to is if you're working on a sensitive subject, you know that that subject stays within the office unless the president says it's time to let it go. And when the president calls and says, we need to do this, you hop right on, just like any other employee is supposed to do. So I asked for letters, and when it was time to let people go, they come into the HR, and the HR would say, the president thanks you for your service, and basically we
Accept your resignation.
yeah, right. That's exactly what he said. We accept your resignation. Because a good HR guy doesn't say a lot.
Right.
If you say too much, you might put yourself in some kind of ethics thing. So basically, you just say, we accept your resignation. Thank you for your service.
So what I'm trying to help people understand, for those of you that are out there that think y'all smart, that think that y'all because the problem that happens, and this is what I was talking about with Tony Preckwinkle, but I see this happening all the time. And people think sometimes if you've never been in a position like that, it's hard for you to think like that. But people who are your exempt employees, their job is contingent on you staying in your job. Because the new person comes, they're gonna whack all of those people and put their own people in. So when you see people working on the weekends and doing all of that, they have a pretty good life. And so when they have to work, when it's campaign time, they recognize if they lose the campaign, they don't have a job. And that wonderful life that they live with health care and benefits and all of that, it goes away. And so what I try to encourage the people that I consult to do is, instead of being so nice, right? Because you always think of people as, people always will do what you want, say what you want them to say when they're trying to get the job. But then when it's time to do the work, or it's time to do what you want to do and not what they want to do, then they start feeling how smart they are, or they want to go look at their degrees. You don't get the job because you got a degree. You got the job because somebody recommended or put you there and said that you can get the job done for that executive. The moment that you are no longer effective for the executive, guess what? Goodbye. And thus, and instead of having a long debate, anybody getting fired, any unemployment claims, thank you for, we're going to accept your resignation now. Man, Todd, were you ruthless like that?
I mean, we had to get rid of a few people.
Would you have gotten rid of more?
I mean, I could have, and I could sleep well because they were pretty useless. And to be honest with you, only 20% of the people who were in the exempt list would go out and work with. They thought they were, professionals and didn't have to do anything else. Some of them went home after I left. A lot of people were like, you don't know what you got until it's gone.
Should have known. But can you close that door? Sideways, that it wouldn't last. Sure, the kind of person believes in making out once, love them and leave them fast. I guess I must be dumb. She had a pocket full of Trojans and some of them used. But it was Saturday night, I guess that makes it alright. And you said, whatever I got to lose. And honey, I said, little red Corvette, baby, you're much too fast. Little red Corvette, you need a love that's gonna last. Guess I should have closed my eyes when you drove me to the place where your horses run free. 'Cause I felt a little ill when I saw all the pictures of the jockeys that were there before me. Believe it or not, I started to worry, wondered if I had enough class. But it was Saturday night, I guess that makes it alright. And you said, baby, I ain't got enough gas. Oh yeah, little red Corvette, baby, you're much too fast.
You are.
Little red Corvette, need to find a love that's gonna last. You are tuned in to the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Ty, what you know about Little Red Corvette, man?
You realize I'm like 7 years older than you, right?
Nah, well, guess what? See, I'm telling you, Little Red Corvette, that was my very first karaoke song. Very first karaoke song I did at the Cat's Meow on Bourbon Street.
Yeah.
Right on Bourbon Street. Essence Music Festival. Man, that might have been the best. You know what?
Wait a minute, are you going to the Purple Rain?
What Purple Rain?
Isn't that what they call it? The Sheila E. and the Time.
When is that?
Morris Day. It's coming up. I heard Morris Day talking about it. I just didn't find the date.
Dang, man, I got to go see Morris Day in the time, man.
The Horseshoe.
I'd be nervous going out to the Horseshoe, man. But I tell y'all what.
I don't know what that's about, so I'll go
Yeah,
ahead.
you know what, the Horseshoe, you be seeing all type of people out there. You in the parking lot at the Horseshoe just a little too late, and somebody down on their luck. You got to be careful out at the Horseshoe. I'm just playing. Hey, y'all, take a moment. I was about to say take a moment, share the broadcast. All right, check this out. Did you see? I was talking about Kim Fox. So Rahm Emanuel, who is another culprit in this thing, is now saying that Kim Fox. He defends Kim Fox and says she should not resign.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question? Who in the hell said she was resigning? Where did that? See how they do that? See how they do that right there? See how they did that?
Well, no, there was a push. I thought there was a push, but was it the usual suspects, the police and all those guys?
Oh, asking her to resign? Yeah. Okay. Well, Rahm, I don't know. I feel like, Rahm, you just need to keep your mouth shut. Because anything you touch as it relates to black people, not a good look. All right, check this out. Chicago, did you hear about Cook County having the largest population loss in the entire country?
No, but I did hear that it's not, the trend is in the big cities. So LA County, some of the counties in New York or boroughs have had the same type of thing, but not at the same number.
Yeah, the problem is for it's a thing in the metro areas. The thing is for Illinois, Illinoisans are leaving the state. So when you go to those other areas, people are going to the suburbs. Our people are going to California. They're going to the Sun Belt. Check this out. In the time that we lost almost 24,000 people, or no, excuse me, 240,000 people, check this out. Dallas picked up 400,000. Phoenix picked up 300,000. People are moving to the Sun Belt where it's warmer and the taxes are less. You know what I'm saying? I just think it's crazy, man. But at the same time, check this out. Chicago broke a record last year with 57.7 million visitors, tourists. You know that is Rhymes' baby, because you know he say, let's tax them suckers while they in here, hit them with everything, hit them with the hammer.
But you know, that's really Mayor Daley. Mayor Daley always said he wanted to make this an international city, which basically means he wanted people from all over the world to come visit.
The problem is some of them came and stayed. It's like when you go now to Prairie Shores and all that, Chinatown came and stayed. You know, they said that, no, check it out. They said that the largest migration, immigration in Chicago was not south of the border. It was people coming from Asia. And man, it's like,
my niece actually lives over there, and she lives in one of those shores.
Mm-hmm.
And her building, I can never go over there, and there's not somebody who I know is, as they say, Persian. They're either Indian or Pakistan.
Man, I'm telling you now that like the Asian, like when I told you outside of my office on 29th in Michigan, if you go there on Saturdays, the Asians pull up with Lexuses, with I'm telling you, they all got a Asian car, but they pull up and they get all the free food and all the stuff, and I'll be like, they standing out there in Canada.
Over at St. James.
Well, you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah, we worked over there before.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, St. James has them lined up down the street, but I'll be like, now, if some black people was pulling up in a Lexus and in Range Rovers with Canada Goose jackets, picking up all that free food, do you know what they would be saying about us?
Yeah, you're right.
And then think about this. I bet you half that stuff end up in one of them, in Chinese food restaurant, Chinese store, and we sitting around here. You know what? See, that's my problem. Chet Kopic passed away.
I like Chet Kopic. He was a nice guy.
Well, what's good? Well, Todd, you don't usually have those type of stories for media people.
Chet, nice guy.
Chet, you never really say that. That's a real testimony. Also, in the wake of 420, State's Attorney Kim Foxx is about to start the pot expungements. And in a sad note, Lil Rel Howery's show was canceled after 12 episodes on Fox.
Lil who?
Todd, did you just say Lil who? You don't know Lil Rel?
No.
Come on, man, you ain't see Get Out.
And
You ain't TSA.
Oh, him.
Man, you know what? Lil Rel is a Chicago. You know what? We'll talk about more when we come back and talk Chicago 16 night.
Oh, is he from here?
Yeah. West Side, Marshall Hatch's nephew.
Really?
Yes.
I'm gonna go talk to him next week. I don't know that. Yeah, that guy was hilarious in the Get Out.
Man, he's hilarious and everything. I think that
I don't really watch TV that much.
Nobody watches TV that much, really. I think that show, he was doing too much. Like, I feel like he was trying to be like the next Martin. Like, where he was doing all these characters and stuff.
Right. And all that, yeah.
Yeah. And so I think cause he was he did the Vice Lords one time from Chicago. So it's like if you were in Chicago, you might have got it way more.
Right.
Than if you were. It was very Chicago specific.
It was an insider joke.
Yeah. Like, now if you was from the crib and you saw it, you'd be like, oh, he got the brothers right there. And you know, because he from the West Side, right? You would understand. But it was like, I feel like when I watched it, I felt like it was busy. And I would have rather just focused on him, not playing characters and stuff, but focus on him. And did you see, I liked him a lot in Carmichael. Do you watch the Carmichael show? All right, let me tell you. So, you know how you like those Richard Pryor things?
Yeah.
Skits and things? Let me just tell you, if you get a chance, watch the Carmichael show on, I don't know if it's on Netflix, if it's on NBC on demand. But if you get a chance, I'm telling you now, that show addresses so much real shit, but it's so funny, and he addresses black stuff, white stuff. The Carmichael Show. I was so disappointed when they took the show off.
How long did it last?
Like 4 seasons.
That's not bad actually for a show.
He took it off though.
No, really,
He was like,
"Oh,
that show was like, man. All right, Todd, you got the camera.
yeah, I usually catch shows, 3 years in or something, which is kind of cool because nowadays with Netflix, I can go back and look. So I'm gonna figure this out right now. See if it's on Netflix because that's what I got. Of course, I said that, but figuring out how to find it. So there we go. All right.
The Carmichael Show.
My Google. Spelled that wrong.
Good morning, CL Cross. Good morning, Demetrius Thomas. Good morning, Michelle Flagg. What's up? Man, I don't think I'm going to tell you. Every time I pull up to a corner in Chicago now, if you look at all 4 corners, I bet you will see someone of Asian descent on one of those 4 corners.
Yeah, we spend a lot of time over there and have, because, De La Salle and such. And my niece lives over there in Prairie. Oops, right. My niece lives over in Prairie Shore. And, yeah, I mean, for years I've been like, wow, this is like Little Asia. There's always either people who are more than likely Chinese or people who are more than likely Indian walking up and down. They definitely live in all those buildings off of King Drive. It's pretty interesting what's going on over there. I mean, when I was a kid, my pediatrician was in one of those. He was like in Prairie View or something, wherever that building is. But yeah, they're coming in, and I'm guessing you're right. They are staying, just like a lot of people are coming in this summer on work visas. They will come in and work, and a good number of them will never go back. They'll just let the visa expire and just stay where they are, or find another job somewhere else.
And then look at you crazy when you at your own the neighborhood that you used to live in. Don't get me started.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How y'all feeling this morning? What up? Denise Russell. It's on Netflix. Watch it on Netflix because then they take out the commercials.
But I'll find it.
Have y'all shared the broadcast today? Take a moment, share the broadcast with your friends, your family. Hit that doski, Joski. Controversy. Straight or gay. Controversy. 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 I want to hear delirious. Next one is delirious. Controversy.
No, I don't.
You are tuned in to the Talk Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man, Todd Stroger. Todd, you know what? It is time for the social media question of the day. So, check it out. This Sunday is Easter Sunday. And it got me to thinking about Easter Sunday and what it meant to me as a child. Now, Todd, as a child, it was a really big deal. Now, we were super involved in the church. So being super involved in the church, Easter was almost as big as Christmas. Like it almost was as big as Christmas.
Well, you know, as a Christian, excuse me, as a Christian holiday, Easter actually is the biggest holiday.
It is right because everybody's Savior was born, but very few of them were resurrected. The only one, what Christianity makes as its distinction is that the Savior was born again, was resurrected 3 days later. But you know what? We don't have to go down the philosophical right
Yeah,
now.
I like when you gotta lay a little groundwork.
Okay,
put a
we
little, put a little sand, a little rocks. You know, you gotta make it.
Because you know, foundation built on stone is one thing, but built on sand is another. But we gon'
Right.
you know, we talk about that too. So, Todd, I was thinking about like when Easter would come, man, we would get new clothes, man.
Of course.
You got new
You gotta
clothes.
show out on Easter.
You showed out. You got Good Friday off. It was cleanup week. You know what I mean? And it was like even at school, you had a big old Easter party. It was like a big send off. And then it was kind of like it was like a holiday weekend for me. Cause it was like you had Thursday was the school party, Friday was Good Friday, you ain't go to school on Friday, which was actually made sure that you got a day off. So it was like a real holiday.
Right.
Then you had Saturday, where it was the Easter egg hunt, and you went to the church, and everybody was hanging out and having parties. And then on Sunday, no, I really didn't. Sunday used to be a problem, because you had to go to sunrise service, which meant that you had to be up before the sun. It was kind of fun, but it was like, dang. I didn't gotta get up very early. But you got to dye Easter eggs. Then you got the Easter baskets. And remember, you know what I used to hate? Sometimes I used to hate the Easter baskets. Because you know how when you go into Walgreens, it'll be small, medium, and large.
Yes.
And I used to wind up with the small. But then you would go to like your aunties and your uncles. And it was like you would go places and people would be giving you stuff. And like I remember I used to have my Aunt Dean do you remember those legs? Okay, there was legs pantyhose, but they used to come in this egg, right? And she would fill it up with quarters and nickels and dimes, like all silver money. And then you would crack it open, and there'd be all this change, and then you could go buy candy. I mean, it was like Easter was like a real holiday.
It was a real holiday.
I'm saying it really was a holiday.
You know, it was a government holiday. Like the city of Chicago got off on Easter.
What? It was Sunday. Easter was on Sunday.
I don't mean Easter. I mean Good Friday.
Okay, see, that's my point.
Yeah.
And so now, you know what, Todd? Now I think about Easter. I mean, look, man, you went to I remember going to the plaza. You took pictures with the Easter Bunny. Like it was Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know how the Easter Bunny and Easter Bunny and Easter got together and the egg magic. I know it was a lot of pagan stuff mixed so that the Christians could hide. But, Todd, it don't seem the same no more. And the social media question of the day. Is Easter still a real holiday? Give us a call, 312-374-8130. 312-374-8130. I mean, when I describe it right now, I'm excited again. I mean, we used to let balloons go on the Saturday. You would tie a postcard to it, and then you hope somebody mail it back to you. I mean, and now, Todd, I remember going to the store and going down the Easter egg aisle and picking out your egg color, which kind you got. Like, was you gonna get the pies? Was you gonna get? Remember then you had to get the cups and make your Easter eggs, and you got the little spoon thing that you used to always try and put the egg in.
Dip it in there, yeah.
And then you couldn't never really get it, and so then you wound up sticking it. I mean, I just had so many. Then I remember having my Easter suit. Right, you go shopping because your mom was taking you to get an Easter suit, boy, and I was sharp because I had me some pimp stripes. I had a pinstripe suit. You know what I remember? Let me tell you what. One time,
pinstripe. Right?
no pimp. I used to call them pimp stripe suits. I thought everything that PI started with PIN or PIM was pimp. So I was like, I got me a pimp stripe suit.
Okay.
And I remember one time, Todd, my mama taught me, got me all set up for Easter. My knew I was just trying to be sharp, and remember they used to be like, you sharp as a tack.
Yeah.
So I remember putting on my Easter suit and walking out the door, and I jumped off the steps. And you know what I did?
You fell.
I jumped off the steps and landed in the knees of my suit. and tore the knees out of the brand new suit. And on Easter Sunday,
You got a whip.
I got a whooping and had to wear a janky suit to church when everybody had their Easter suits on.
Oh,
And I remember going to Greater Metropolitan and being like, man. And my mom was, you want to talk about somebody mad?
I bet.
My mama was mad. She was like, boy, you got a whooping on Easter.
Mm-hmm.
A whooping on Easter. So the question becomes, man, is Easter still a real holiday? Give us a call, 312-374-8130. Now, we still eat on Easter. Now, I still cook. But I don't know.
What do you cook? Lamb?
No, man. I go to Costco and get me. Have you ever had a ham from Costco? Let me tell you.
No, I'm pretty sure we have.
Okay, well, I'm going to tell you what. You are missing out. Okay, I know the WVON family going to snap on me for the swine, but I'm here to tell you. If you want the best $25 ham you ever going to get, Costco. Boy, that spiral cut, honey glaze, man, you don't even need to go to Honey Baked. Because if you make one of them Costco hams, that's something, and then they spiral cut it. It's so good. All right, y'all, give me a call. Y'all ain't got nothing for me? 312-374-8130. Ty, what do you do for Easter?
My wife cooks. I don't know.
It's not a holiday. You don't get your son a new suit no more?
No.
Do y'all dye Easter eggs? What do you do, man? What you do?
Oh yeah, right. There is a dying of.
You still dye Easter eggs?
I'm pretty sure we did last year, but now I think they're 15 and 19. I don't think that's gonna happen. And at church, before our church closed, they give you a basket. But now the kids are kind of old. I know, like Hans, he's 19. He'd be like, I'd like to get a basket. See if you can get 2.
You know what? Do you remember when you would go to church and everybody? That's true, man. I remember going to church. I couldn't wait to go to church because we used to get Easter bags, right? And it would be brown paper bags, and we would pack them the night before. But then they would come in and put stuff in them.
Man,
Boy,
you got sure we're black.
you know what? And actually, that was at the white church.
Really?
That was it, man. When we would, let me tell you, the Nazarenes, the Nazarenes was like, we gonna celebrate our kingdom. Let's go to the phone lines. I see my man, the real Mike O'Connor, on the phone line. Mike, what's up, man? How you feeling this morning?
Hey, good morning. I'm on my way out the door, but I thought I'd call. It's interesting in terms of what you're saying, specifically as it concerns is Easter a holiday. I think that people who are faith-based understand a holiday. I grew up Catholic, and my mother and father, we in and out of church. It's a half an hour, and
It's not a half an hour, Mike. Come on.
and we had to deal with being there, getting there, throwing our tithe in. I went to St. Joachim, and from there, we had dinner. I mean, it was cool. Now, I had called because I wanted to say that you were absolutely correct. Ron needs to be quiet because if the attorney who is Smollett's case, that attorney, she threatened to depose him and Eddie Johnson. So I think that's probably why he's got a change of heart in terms of his tactics, because they're the ones who basically, after Millett messed up, it was them who made it national in terms of the tourism. Now, you was talking about the tourism. I heard VON talk about the increase of tourism. I wonder if they were counting the kids that come down here where I live at in the area.
They are touring the city. They trying to get out of their neighborhood and see the rest of the city, man.
See, we used to go downtown. It was something that we did as a teenager. You got on the bus, you went downtown, you went to the Mac Vicar, or you went to some other place, and
That's right.
it was as far as okay. But we have regressed to the point where they target these kids now. We knew at 8 o'clock that morning that there was going to be a problem because of the fact that they had told the CTA operators in the North Riverside, basically this whole area, that if you saw groups of kids to report them, to the CTA. So I wish hopefully somebody in the black community who wants to be a journalist would check out how our children were targeted. I mean, they talk about the downtown incident, and that was wrong. But we have a public brothel in this area all the time, and these are white kids.
You know what, Mike? That is so true. And I'm gonna tell you, the more I think about what happened with those kids downtown, I don't know if I really feel like there's some bad apples, but the way that it is being portrayed right now, and you know what, we got to talk about that a little bit later. But I want to talk about this. I got to go back to my social media question of the day. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate your call.
And then also was Perry Small's church, St. Joachim.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna tell you. I want to know, y'all, is Easter still a real holiday? Give us a call, 312-374-8130. We'll be back after traffic and the weather.
More of the morning show.
Yeah, I think, so do you think it's still a holiday? Todd?
Oh, do I think it's still a holiday? I think the whole faith of people has diminished into organized religion. So I think there's a whole bunch of people who consider themselves Christian, but they don't consider themselves part of any, Catholics, Baptists, whatever. They don't feel that way, so they're not celebrating like we used to in the old days, where you had a church suit. You went, it was a big old day, and it was sunny, and everybody's like woohoo. I don't think that's happening as much, just because there's not as many people who do this anymore. They believe in something though.
So my original question was gonna be, do you believe in the resurrection? Do you think black Americans still believe in the resurrection?
Now see, that's a good one. I mean, they're both good, but that's a good one in the sense that
I just felt like that might be too, that might be super, super hypersensitive. I might do that as a social media stencil. Todd, you have the camera.
I was thinking about that today. Was that the other day? I was Easter and this whole religion thing, where people just aren't as into organized religions anymore. And I think people are asking more questions than they used to. Everything's supposed to be done on faith. You're supposed to believe. So in that, you have to believe that the people who wrote the books had some kind of guidance from God. And I don't think everyone feels that way anymore. They believe the message. They're not really sure if they believe the messenger, or at least the way the messenger says it happened. So it's an interesting phenomenon. I don't know if this is outside of America, but it's true.
Y'all
It's
get the
interesting
perfect
here.
person on to talk about Easter. Judah.
Judah.
Let me tell you all, like all my old schoolers are passed away. So it's just the siblings and the cousins, right?
Uh-huh.
If you know about old schoolers, they partied their tails off. They really believed in family gatherings,
Oh, yes.
all the holidays in the world.
Yeah.
They celebrated everything.
Yeah.
And they kept the family together.
Yes. That was
So
time to get
now,
together.
family gatherings, they were so tight with it. But now since
Yes.
all my old
Like
schools are
Janine's
dead,
aunt, she would make a Passover dinner on Holy Thursday, and we'd all go over and eat. That's why I can't believe I can't remember what we ate, but she would make a Passover dinner,
Mhm.
and that was the thing.
Yeah, I mean, they just really believed in everything.
I used to-
celebrated everything. You got to see your cousins.
Man.
Just kicked it.
Yeah.
On Easter Sunday, we would all go to Evergreen Plaza
Man,
and
I
watch
remember.
a movie or something.
and-
It was the bomb.
I'm telling you. I mean, I said Easter was like a baby Christmas.
Yes.
Easter was like a baby Christmas coming up.
Yeah.
I mean, as much as I didn't like church, like,
Not supposed
I-
to laugh.
shoot, as much days as I had to go, I used to be like, Easter is coming, man. Like, man. You know I want Delirious, right? I'll get delirious whenever you're near. I lose all self-control cause I just can't
I
steal.
don't
Oh, I miss
celebrate
it
it
too
with my
because it's the family thing you really miss.
Yeah, I don't. You miss the family, right?
Close the door.
So I don't celebrate none of this stuff now.
See, I told you she wanted to know.
I'll get delirious whenever you're near. Lose all self-control cause I just can't steal. Spills get locked in place. Stupid look on my face. When it comes to waking out fast, pretty mama, I just can't wait around. I'll get delirious. 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 I'll get delirious whenever my hand. But it gets so weak, I just don't understand. Temperature's running hot.
Yeah.
Baby, you got to stop. Girl, if you don't, I'm gonna explode. And girl, I gotta lie. I'll get delirious. 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 I'll get delirious whenever you're near. Then we gotta take control cause I just can't steer. Just ain't much to take. I can't stop, I ain't got no brakes. Girl, you gotta take me for a little ride up and down and around your legs. I'm delirious. You get me delirious. Delirious. The booba. You are tuned in to the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man, Ty. Ty, they don't know nothing about delirious, man.
Oh man, I don't know how they could.
That might have been, you know what, that's a sleeper. That's a sleeper. I think that's like you got to go in the Prince catalog to get that. I don't think everybody got that. Look, it's Talk Chicago, 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man, Ty Stroger. Todd, I want to know, is Easter still a real holiday? We got Judah on the line. Judah, Talk Chicago. You're saying that Easter's... What's up, my brother?
Yes, how you doing, brother? Shalom.
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 Yeah. I want to say, you asked the question, is Easter real?
I said, is Easter still a real holiday?
Yeah, that's what you said. And my answer to that is, it never was real. Easter represents sacred temple prostitution.
Wait, what?
What'd you say now?
Say that again. Wait, what? Prostitution?
Yeah? You want to hear it again?
Now I want you to tell me where you got that from. Explain it to me.
Sure. You can go to any encyclopedia. You can go to your Gloria Encyclopedia. You got the Victorian history of the Italian people. And you got several encyclopedias that you can go to and find out the real
Tell me the story. Tell us the story, Judah. We only got a few minutes. Tell me the story of what it is right now.
Okay, Easter was never real. It was always pagan. It's called the goddess of fertility, the egg.
Is that where the rabbit and the egg come from?
Exactly. It's all false. It has nothing to do with the resurrection of Jesus Christ.
So Judah, how did it all get mixed up, my brother?
What do you mean, how did it get mixed up?
Okay, so somewhere from the goddess of fertility to the birth of Jesus Christ, or the resurrection of Jesus Christ, how did those two become intertwined?
Well, first of all, Jesus did not die on no Good Friday and rise on no Sunday. You cannot get 3 days out of between Friday and Sunday, regardless whose math you use. You cannot do it. He died on the Passover day, which was a Wednesday. See? and he rose on the true Sabbath day, which is Saturday.
All right, well, I get it. So I'm saying that. So this is one of those things where we talk about the pagan being mixed in with the Christianity. They said that they used to do this type of thing so that they could kind of hide the Christianity and the pagan holidays in some kind of ways they morph.
Well,
That-
and also it ties the community to what you're trying to talk about. So you give them something that they're familiar with, and then you add on what you want, and they're more receptive.
Ah, got it. Okay, thanks, Judah. I appreciate your call. Karen, you on the Talk Chicago 1690.
Hey, good morning, King.
Good morning, sis.
Easter ain't never been a holiday. I agree with him. It's about an orgy. And what we need to do, our people, is to start understanding when did a rabbit lay an egg? It's time to study. The only thing that happens from this day
That's a good
is
point.
churches and stores make money. Have a great day.
Oh, wait, y'all better stop
I
messing
never
with
thought about that.
What? What?
What?
Well, you know, I think that's part of the whole myth. See, you know what I'm saying? I think is that part of why we don't celebrate these things anymore, right? Like as the mythology, as we become more Google app appropriate, where you can ask a real
They
question.
don't make sense.
Right? It's like at one point, you know, you just nobody questioned, but you got
exactly.
right.
That's religion, right?
Right? Why? How come? Cause God said. And they used to be like, because. And so but can I tell y'all something? Even if it wasn't like, this is how I feel. Like I don't celebrate I don't celebrate the pilgrims on Thanksgiving. But I do enjoy what Sonia came in here talking about, which is the family gathering of it all. Now, I do think that probably the church, because we were very church oriented, I enjoyed it. But I think what I really enjoyed about it all was the gifts. But besides the gifts and the
Yeah,
money.
you should. You were young.
Right. Well, shoot, I still like gifts and I still like money. But I think the part that I enjoyed the most about it, and when I was asking this question, was really just the sense of community. Like, I feel like during that time, regardless of what church you went to, whether you were Catholic, you was a something, like everybody was kind of, I felt like it was Christmas spirit in the middle of April, right? Like, it was almost like, it was like you got another holiday and it was just bright and it was the beginning of spring. And I realized that all of our traditions are rooted in some sort of something we can take away from it. But I just enjoyed the family component of it. All right, y'all, when we come back, we are going to break down the Mueller report. Our own Amisha Cross, the D.C. correspondent, will be with us. So we're going to take the soul plane to D.C. and we'll be back after traffic and news and the weather.
The talk of Chicago and the voice of the nation. 1690 WVON, Chicago.
The day after.
I mean, I ain't celebrate Santa Claus, but I like Christmas.
That wasn't part of the church.
No, we didn't. No, hell no. Like I'm gonna tell you, we ain't never do no Santa Claus. Now I sure did love those Santa Claus specials that came on Channel 2, the claymations.
Oh man.
That I mean, you used to live for that.
That's true. I'd watch. I loved Rudolph. I loved the Heat Miser thing. Yeah, that was some good stuff.
I'm gonna tell you what I'm going to. I still watch those, but they don't show them as much. I think. You know what we used to also do for this weekend? We used to watch the Ten Commandments.
I love the Ten Commandments.
I love the Ten Commandments too. Man, Ten Commandments came
I
on.
fell asleep on it.
Man,
I
the
saw
Ten.
the Ten Commandments. I want to say I saw it at the movies.
Really?
I think it was like 1968. It came back out because it came out really like 1961 when I was born. But they re-released it.
I never. Hey, did you see the movie that the Price one that Mel Gibson made? What was the name of that movie? That
Passion of the Christ?
Passion of Christ.
No.
No, I didn't see that either.
I haven't. I don't.
Man, it's nothing better to me than I know I'm gonna be in trouble because the WVON audience be like, that white depiction. I would tell you what though, that joint, man, Yul Brynner was a beast, dog.
Oh,
I love Yul Brynner, man.
You talking about the Passion of Christ?
No,
No.
I'm talking about the Ten Commandments, the Prince. We're right. Let my people go. I'm not.
I used to watch all that though. The Robe. What was the other one? Barabbas. Was that a movie?
Yeah.
But yeah. I used to like all that kind of stuff.
I still do. I love that. I love the Ten Commandments.
You didn't do that, huh?
I didn't. Let me tell you, my mother. This is so funny. Remember, I was telling you how everybody in my family went to Catholic school except for me.
Yeah.
I broke that mold. I wasn't going to school. So, by her being Catholic,
Now, how come you didn't look at, was Aquinas still there?
Acquaintance had just ended because I was at Bryn Mawr.
Yeah.
So Acquaintance was down the street from Bryn Mawr, and Acquaintance had just closed their school when I graduated.
Oh, okay.
So it was either Unity. What's the other school?
Longwood?
Not Longwood. It was too far.
Too far for you? There was something close?
Wait, yeah, it was Unity in what was that other school? Quickly? Was it Quickly South?
No, that was all boys.
That was all boys.
Yeah.
I can't think of the other school.
And you go to Luther South.
Oh, well, it was just so funny because I didn't know my mother was Catholic.
Oh, you didn't know?
Yeah. So now I know why she was trying to sue me,
Yeah.
But what was I getting at? Oh, her grandmother was one of those Catholics that walked the streets with the Bible, like she's the crazy preacher woman. That was my mother's grandmother.
Uh-huh.
So my mother just didn't do a lot of things. The only reason why all those things were celebrated was because of my father.
Ah.
She ain't do the whole Christmas thing. She only did it because of my father.
He was Baptist, all right?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. She didn't do the whole Easter. She never bought me an Easter dress. It was my grandmother on my father's side.
Oh.
She never attended church. Not Catholic, not Baptist anyway. When I got baptized because of my father, she came. But she
And
was
you were
on
baptized, you were how old?
in that church that didn't mean nothing. I don't know. I didn't learn anything.
Because, in the Baptist faith, you have to be old enough to make a choice.
Oh, shoot!
Uh-oh.
See? She called earlier. She called at 6 o'clock. And she said, yeah, I'm calling because Manny asked me to call in. I looked at the time. I said, oh, he said 7 o'clock. I said, you're an hour early.
She in D.C.
Right. She said she'll call back.
Woo, woo,
Yeah,
woo.
that whole Catholic thing, my mother was strong. She didn't believe in nothing. So if it wasn't for my father, I would not have. And the reason why I came here because why can't we just have holidays based on family instead of trying to tie it to something religious?
I think all these holidays meant so much to us because it was a day off work back in the day. Like, literally. Like, I think, like, when you pushed all that slavery, Christianity, like, you think about when they said, like, I didn't realize, like, during the Christmas holiday, the reason it was such a big deal with the slaves was because, and Thanksgiving, was because it was a time when they could actually stop, but they could actually go to other plantations, go visit their families, go see other, and it was like a time, like, I'm not saying it always was, but I think that we, just like we were talking about the slavery, about mixing these holidays had a different meaning to us because they were opportunities for us to gather, right? And so that's why I think black people always have a damn party whenever it's a holiday. It ain't the 4th of July, like we was free. It was another day where the white folks was busy minding their business and we could be like, hey, y'all, they over there.
It makes a lot of sense. It's kind of peaceful until you get the drunk relative. But it's kind of peaceful, those certain holidays.
What you coming with, Titus? I need some of that Beyonce off of you know what you got before I let go? Play that. Everybody's talking about how terrible it is. I love that. The new Beyonce, Before I Let Go. The one off of with the band, with the marching band. She snapped on that album. I do want to say, let me just say to all the Beyonce fans, I just, so no shade. Okay, a little shade. So, how it's Beyonce and it says homecoming, right? And so she spells it H, theta, mu, sigma,
No, it's going back to the E.
I know.
right? So I was just thinking like how everybody. It's clear she didn't go to college though, right? She was like, I always dreamed about going, but I never went, and it's clear because you would not be spelling Hafizing, whatever the fuck, excuse me, whatever the heck you
Somebody
spell.
should have told her the Greek letters. The
No,
alphabet.
the Beehive. You tell them the Beehive gonna snap on you. Titus, make sure you let me know.
I can't do
Taking
that.
Are we? Let me know when we back.
Weather turning
So somebody should have told her, but who gonna tell B? I would have told her, like, hey B. But it wouldn't have looked as cool without the Greek letters, because it's a Greek letter for everything on there. I just needed to say that.
Yeah, but you can do that somehow.
No, it's epsilon is E. It wouldn't have looked Greek. Epsilon is E.
Oh.
She was trying to make it
She was
look
trying to
Greek.
get the,
She was trying to get the Greek effect.
Did you all learn Greek letters in grade school?
No,
Alphabet?
I learned it pleasure.
Yeah,
I learned it in grade school.
I learned it because if I couldn't say the Greek alphabet 3 times before a match burned out, my hand was gonna be on fire. This one goes to Carrie. Happy. This you can tell. Boom, boom. I love that band. Shall ride you before I let go. We had a good time.
Yeah.
Foolish. Before I let go, I think, boom, boom, boom. This is my favorite part right here. Don't, boom. You know there's nothing I would not do. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. You are tuned in to the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM. I'm your host, Mace Jackson. Got my man, Ty Strojan. Ty, at the top of the hour, I got to say what's up to the WVON Morning Show team. What's up to Annette Flournoy in the newsroom? What's up to my man, Titus on the wheels of steel? You know what? And I got to say what's up to Miss Sonia Tompkins. She's the super producer. Hey, y'all, that is Before I Let Go, the Beyonce remix. Y'all been giving some drama to that. But can I tell y'all something? When I saw my wife dancing around to this song, she was acting like she was in the parade. Like she was in the marching band, like she went back to execute. She was like, y'all don't understand what this was when we went to the rodeo and when we went to Bayou Classic, everybody black in Houston and Louisiana would be singing this song, and it just took us, and you know what? When I saw her dancing around the living room to this, I was like, you know what? It made the song have a special meaning to
Big
me.
view, yes, very good.
You know what? So shout out that one.
Marching bands are big in the South.
Man, well, did you see the Beyonce homecoming thing?
No.
Man, I'm gonna tell you. Check that out on Netflix. Uh-oh. Hot? Okay, wait. Now, check this out. I don't understand how this always happens. The Soul Plane, now we on our way to D.C. to catch up with our girl, Amisha Cross, but no sooner do we get to 60,000 feet, does the air marshal come dropping in. Y'all, you know what? Big Otis Wilson is in the studio, and I gotta say what's up to Big O. Amisha, we got you in a hot second, but I gotta say what's up to Big Otis Wilson. Todd, I need you to scoot in.
We gotta put off our cage match. I pulled a quad.
You pulled a quad.
I was working too hard.
Otis was gonna pull more than a quad. Big O, what's up, man? How you feeling today?
Good morning. How's everybody?
All right, man. You know what? Make sure you're speaking to the mic.
Yes,
all right.
good morning.
How you feeling, man?
I feel great. You?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm a little
Good.
hot because they've been rocking.
Everybody
Look,
getting
I'm gonna tell y'all what. Yeah, enough with these kisses and these blowing. Look, I can always tell when Big Otis is in the building because the ladies start climbing all over the windows. But you know what? Let me say this. Let me do this because I got my girl. I called her. I reached out. You know, very early in the morning, about 5:30 in the morning. I'm sitting doing my prep, and you know, we were talking about. I saw that the Mueller report has been released. And we were going to talk to Westwood One. Shout out to Westwood One. But when I want a real perspective on what's going on in Washington, D.C., especially from our perspective, it's one person that I want to go to. And so I woke up early this morning and got on the phone line to come talk to us about what's going on with this Mueller report. WVON family, welcome back. It's not Monday, it's Friday. Amisha Cross. Amisha, how you feeling, sis?
Pretty good, pretty good. And you thought it was early for you. It was an hour earlier for me.
Oh, my goodness. Well, I'm sorry. You know what? But when the news is cracking, I got to talk to the people that I trust. And I just want to make sure that the WVON audience gets a voice that we know and trust and is right there on the scene. So thank you, Amisha. Talk to us. The Mueller report was released yesterday. Was it a lot? Was it a little? I'm going to tell you what. I'm tired of this thing. I'm just ready for it to be over. You tell me, what do I need to know?
So the much anticipated Mueller report hit its public release yesterday, all 445 pages of its glory. But before it was released, Attorney General Bill Barr actually held a press conference. The press conference was supposed to give a preview of what was found, the importance of the report, and basically a lead-in to the fact that he was handing it over to Congress before it was made available online to everyone. What he did in that press conference was also paint President Trump as a victim of the Democratic Party's wild goose chase, so to speak, of basically utilizing this case to undermine his presidency. And in so doing, he set up something that we've never actually seen an attorney general do before, a scheme that made it appear that the entire investigation was something that was used to diminish the credibility of this president, and that there was nothing found, there was no collusion, there was no obstruction, which we found after the report was actually released was absolutely untrue. No collusion, yes, but on the point of obstruction, the Bob Mueller had actually found that there were at least 10 cases and identified each one that would lead to a very strong bill towards an obstruction of justice investigation should Congress choose to do so.
So now let me ask a question. So, because the thing that we were all talking about initially was collusion. Collusion. The whole point of this was about collusion with the Russians. Am I correct, or did I miss that?
Correct. And I think that the important thing to note here is that there were conversations that did happen that would lead themselves to what people would consider shady dealings. However, collusion is extremely hard to prove, and it's hard to prove without the intent of the conversation. And going in and knowing and being able to prove that either Trump Jr. or some of the other associates went in and knowingly had those conversations and participated in Russian meddling. What they could not prove was that there was prior knowledge.
So one of the things I was watching yesterday was the fact that collusion is actually not a thing, right? Like that the premise of collusion is not a thing, something that you can get in charge for. Conspiracy in and of itself is. And conspiracy requires two parties or more to get together and plan the outcome. So it seems like Trump had a plan, but his staff was like, we ain't rolling with that plan. He was like, I got it. This is how we gonna deal with it. And he was like, nah, my brother, you gotta get your own. Because the brothers was like, I'm not doing that. You ain't finna get me arrested around these pieces. Is that what I'm to understand?
Oh, that is 100% correct. The only reason, and make no mistake, that this president is not in hotter water right now is because he had subordinates who literally stood down. which is very new for this president. He's used to people doing exactly what he tells them to do. But no, they didn't work to get rid of Bob Mueller. That was one of his requests. He actually had a second person in line. He wanted him gone, not because he wasn't doing his job, but because he knew that this was going to be a damaging report. But in addition to that, as we all know, he tried to get rid of the former Attorney General, tried to not have him recuse himself in this case. I think that it's very important to note that the president was trying to put people strategically in these positions to help to dissuade and to move this investigation in his favor.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you what. It seems to me like this was a setup for, it seems like Mueller was setting this up for a congressional impeachment if I was to watch this thing and to look at it. Because it seems like what they were saying is that as the Justice Department, they can indict a sitting president, but it doesn't mean that Congress couldn't. When we come back, I want to talk to you about what does this report mean? Is there the potential for an indictment? I mean, not an indictment, for an impeachment? Or can we just finally just put this thing to bed? Because I'm going to just tell you, I'm so sick of hearing about this. You know what? We'll talk about it more when we come back. It's the Talk of Chicago Traffic and Weather is next.
More of the morning show with Maze Jack.
Big O!
Oh, yes.
What's up, dog? How you feeling, man?
Man, I feel great. I mean, you always got to deal with life's, how to say, trials and errors. But you keep on stroking, man.
There it is.
Don't let them get you down.
I be stroking. That's what I be doing.
I was in San Diego all
How's your brother?
last week.
How's your brother?
No, he was on his last days.
We will send up the prayers, y'all. Y'all pray for Big O's
Not
brother.
eating now.
Ooh.
And not drinking. So you know once you do stop doing that,
Right.
the body totally breaks down.
Oh,
So they increase the meds so they be comfortable.
okay.
And that's it. Man. That was hard to watch.
Man.
To see somebody full of life, man.
And, man, how old is your brother? How old is he?
James would well, I don't even know if he's going to make it to August. August 9th, he'll be 64.
Dang. Big O, how old are you?
I'll be 62.
What?
September.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
You're 62. I did not.
61.
He like, don't be adding no numbers on. I ain't know Big O. I swear to God, I ain't know Big O was. I ain't know that Big O.
Yes. So he's my older brother.
And just think of that. He's 62 years old and he is still foo-fop tied.
Hey!
Just getting that, just dealing with life, man. Having fun.
Yeah, it's better to have some fun.
Yeah, but you hate to have too much fun when you got somebody sitting there that can't do nothing.
That's true.
You don't want to be like, ugh.
Big O,
Yes, talk to me.
you in the game, man? You gonna be in the game of cannabis?
Game of cannabis.
Are you going to be in? Are you doing anything?
I'm not really sure yet.
Let's talk.
I had two folks come to me, but I haven't heard anything from them since. I would love to be in the game.
Okay. We'll talk.
Because I got a teammate that's in the game.
Who?
Kurt Beck.
Okay. Well, let me tell you what.
Is that the picture I saw?
Yes.
Holding evidence.
Hey, man.
No, it's a real game, man.
It's the game is changing.
I said coming soon.
Coming soon in June. What's up, man?
What's up?
You got 10 minutes.
What's up, my brother? You doing okay? Yes, indeed. Oh, my brother. I've seen you
I know.
around, man. Good.
Okay.
You doing okay?
What up, William? Look, man. Hey, man. Let me tell y'all what. This the $25,000 man that put the people on their arse, and now they around here. This man shook it all the way up to D.C. He got billionaires working against him right now. Billionaires. Let me tell you.
I'm sure you're over at Push.
Yeah.
Billionaires. Think about that.
Michael Sachs.
They all working hard. Now, see, this is my thing, though.
Elsie.
He ain't working against you.
Who?
The old man ain't working against you.
D2.
Oh, well, he gonna write a check, but he ain't going hard.
Working against you.
Now? He ain't doing that. Dang, I can't hate on the old man. However, Billionaires. Look, we got the. I can't hate on the old man, but let me just say this. Let me say this. Well, he gonna always support the incumbent. His mentality is you support the incumbent. Once the incumbent ain't the incumbent, then you build a relationship with whoever the next person is. No permanent friends, no permanent enemies. You don't make a fight with somebody that is, that can hurt you. But let me just say this, y'all. William Calloway should be the example to a lot of other people. I'm gonna tell you his stick-to-itiveness, his ability, his unshakable desire to go after his goals in spite of the people that are in front of him. Admirable. And we got to tool him up for the next go-round. All right, we're going to be talking to Will for the next half hour, so y'all be ready at 7:30. We're going to be talking about his recount that he is asking for and what we can do and how we can support him. All right, let's do this. With brutality, talk to me so you can see what's going on.
Stop mobbing.
You are tuned in to the Talk Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Mace Jackson. Got my man, Big Otis Wilson. Waiting for we're setting up for the, we are setting up for the cage match. Todd Stroger, Big Otis Wilson. I seen Todd working out. He got his Speedos. He lifting weights. He is ready. Big O, he said he gonna take you down.
Yeah, he getting swole over there. That ain't in the right place.
This quad is really holding back, man. I'm not sure how long it's gonna take. You know how it is. I got a quad, my hamstrings real tight right now.
Yeah, I can't wait to see this. I'm gonna make sure it's on Facebook Live for everybody. Big O versus Todd, the cage match. But while we're talking about cage matches, let's go back to what's going on in Washington, D.C. My girl, Amisha Cross, she is, what, Amisha, you worldwide. Tell me all the different things, everywhere else the people can find. We'll do that at the end. Tell me, Amisha, it seems like the Mueller report set up the Congress to begin impeachment proceedings. Did I read that wrong? Or what am I seeing? What did I miss?
Absolutely. The Mueller report has laid out in very strong detail 10 specific instances of obstruction. In addition to those parties who need further conversation, as well as basically a call out to Congress. Hey, here's all the information you need. And as you said before going to the commercial, there's something we need to underscore here about the Mueller investigation not going to an actual impeachment trial. At the end of the day, Congress, whether they decide to investigate and move towards impeachment or not, at this point, it was very hard to deny that there are facts here that prove obstruction beyond anybody's possible reality. I don't think that the majority of the American public understood just how deep that this was going to go. When you have 10 very clear instances where everything is laid out, it is basically a gimme to Congress at this point.
Now, the challenge becomes, though, is that Congress is in two pieces. You got the House and you got the Senate. So the House can call for the impeachment and vote for it, but doesn't the trial take place in the Senate? And doesn't it require 3/4, or is it 3/4 or 2/3 majority to get an impeachment of a president, correct?
Absolutely. I think that at this point, what is going to happen is that there's, again, a strict undermining of this administration, specifically looking at the fact that it is very hard to argue that obstruction did not occur. Because we're coming up on an election year and because Nancy Pelosi has already come out against impeachment, I don't think that that's going to change. if anything, this will push more factions within the Democratic Party, specifically among some of the newer, more progressive members of the party and those who are more stalwarts, who see this as playing a long game instead of jumping for the president on this right now. I think that it's going to be a huge media debacle. We've already seen this. We've gone down this path for the past 2 years. There's not going to be a slow up here. But in addition to that, Democrats are looking more towards what 2020 is going to look like for their candidate than they are this.
All right, so go ahead, Pigo.
Well, hi, this is Otis Wilson. How are you, Ms. Cross?
Pretty good. I wish I was in the
Hey, look, this is my studio. I'm the man around here.
The question I had is this. Would this set up anything for them to come at him legally once he's out of office?
Absolutely. There is nothing here that cannot be used should he lose in 2020 or actually should he finish 2020. This does not expire.
Man, so let me ask a question, y'all. I guess I'm wondering, do you think the average American really cares still about this? I feel like a lot of times Congress has these fights that the average person is like, hey man, does this pay my rent? Am I gonna still be able to, are the roads gonna work? What does my 401k look like? How affected is regular America by this? And do you think there is Mueller fatigue yet?
I think there was Mueller fatigue over a year ago at this point. They were recently polled. Public was recently polled, and the Mueller investigation, the probe, and the impeding report at the time ranked number 15 in terms of what Americans cared about from that list. It's always going to be the economy. It's always going to be housing. It's going to be health care. People are not really looking towards this in the general public sense, and I think that Democrats are grappling with that as well.
Well, I'm going to tell y'all what. I have become completely worn out by this whole process. And I just think that we are going to see more hearings, more ad nauseum blame, and I don't feel like we're going to get anything done between now and the presidency. Now, how is Donald Trump reacting to this?
Donald Trump reacted with a Game of Thrones meme. He tweeted immediately after Bill Barr gave his press conference yesterday, and he still feels completely exonerated, minus the fact that I don't believe that and even though he saw this, mind you, he saw this report before it came out to the public. He saw it, and so did his personal attorneys. Not White House counsel, his personal attorneys went over this the day before anyone else saw it. So being mindful of that, a lot of the information that I think he would have wanted to have redacted was not, including his comments on the fact that he would be effed should this come out. So I think that it's important to note that there was a certain level of fear associated with the report being released, but also an understanding of just how in-depth the investigation was.
Check this out. It seems to me that Donald Trump took a page out of Eddie Murphy Raw. Remember when Eddie Murphy said, when you get caught, you just say, it wasn't me. Oh, hold on, baby. I seen you. I saw you going out the window. It wasn't me. Donald Trump is going to be like, it wasn't me. I mean, Donald Trump yesterday seemed like he was doing a touchdown dance. So do you think it's going to change his, any of his hardcore support? Will this move anybody on either side? I feel like the people that thought he was guilty are still going to say he's guilty. The people who thought he wasn't are going to say he wasn't. What do you think, Amisha?
Absolutely. This is only more fuel to the fire of those who already had strong beliefs about his guilt even before the investigation started. But for those who are among his base, I don't think that this moves them at all. It only pushes them to look further into what they see as Democrats chasing something that America doesn't care about. And I think they're going to hold that line. They're going to keep talking about the Trump economy. The economy is still good. And if the economy stays that way through 2020, which by all economic predictions, it's going to start tanking after the election, Democrats are going to have to work very hard.
Donald Trump is going to get reelected, y'all. I don't care what y'all talking about right now. Unless something happens, right now, these people making this money, ain't nobody thinking about getting rid. Ain't nobody thinking about the Mueller report. Look, Amisha Cross, it is always a pleasure to have you. I will be talking to you again on Monday. But until then, tell people how they can connect with you.
Absolutely. You can connect with me on all things social at Amisha Cross. You can also watch Crosspoint. It's shown across the country. In addition to doing a lot of other people's shows as well. I'm doing Roland Martin's show next week.
You know what? That is our very own Amisha. Don't forget the little people. I'm telling you. All right, now. Remember, you was here. We had you first. It's the WVON Morning Show. I'm your host, Mace Jackson, Big Otis Wilson. I got my man, Todd Stroger. That was Amisha Cross. And in the studio is millennial champion, William Calloway. He's going to talk to us about his recount efforts. It's Talk Chicago 1690. We'll be back.
Yeah, Donald, man, he started straight up gangster, man. But after that came out and listening to everything, it was like you watch those Italian guys from Brooklyn, how they operate. I mean, it was just a textbook on what the little Italians do, how they get rich, and just basically the mob. Right. That's what it is. He done gangstered these people, but the thing about it, like you hit the good point. I won't say it on air because I have a lot of them in my pocket. White folks, when they make money, they love you.
To be as close as y'all can get it.
I'm just gonna turn the cameras around. Just sit right there, and I'm gonna just be spinning. I'm gonna spin the
Now,
cameras.
if you hurt their money, then they mad at you.
Yes.
So as long as they making money, they don't
Do what you
that
do.
man do.
Right. Take them all. Slap them all. You can't. Don't have that in here. Get us in trouble. He got some drinks. That is William Calloway. There you go. Millennial of the century. Millennial of the future. You know I give the millennials a hard time. This brother has the stick-to-itiveness that is required to be successful in the world. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of people go for the quick strike. I've seen Mr. Calloway. You know what? I would say that in the 4 years since I've seen Mr. Calloway, he has been probably the most consistent and the most not showman. If I was to say who is not an actorist, I would put Mr. Calloway in that space. You know, I was an activist for like 7 days. I couldn't keep up. I was like, oh, this is too much. There's too many ups and downs and all of that stuff. But you all know that Will Calloway was in a race for the 5th Ward. I'm going to tell you, the reason that race was so important is because it was the Obama Center. And while people don't recognize the gravity, when they talk about princes and principalities, right, this brother could potentially affect the lives of billionaires. And so when you understand why the forces that came against him, this wasn't about that ward. This was about what's going to happen in that ward. And could you imagine having to check in with someone who has the conscience of our people at the forefront? And so part of the reason that you are seeing and you saw what you saw, and 127 votes, y'all, I'm going to tell y'all, I've been in Chicago a long time. And I'm just telling you that when you are talking about billionaires have invested in their library. They are not going to give it up without exhausting every tool in the toolbox. Everyone. And this, I don't know if it can change, because I believe that in this city, when it is said that it is to be done, then it is done. But I think no matter how this goes, I think this should be a learning lesson, and this should be an example for people to see how the game is played for real. So we're going to give Will the opportunity to talk about what's going on with this race. But think about this. $25,000, $250,000. That when he said that, and you think about that, and it was 127 votes short, right? I don't know if it was 127 votes short. So, but what I am going to say is that you have to stay ever vigilant, but this is also another reason why we have to build our own political army, right? We have to build our own so that we got people watching the polls. We got people. Like, our network has to go all the way into the Board of Elections. It has to be somebody on our team that's black that we could look at and they could be like, But if we don't, then things like this will happen. These are more examples of, right now, we are unprotected politically. And one of our young warriors went to bat and came up against the princes and the principalities. That's okay, though. Because we're going to be ready next time. We can be ready this time. Let's get it cracking, y'all.
Gotta start early.
Y'all ready? See, y'all still growing crops. Y'all out here being agriculturals when these fools got knives and weapons, and we out here. Y'all watch the Game of Thrones? See, like, we around here being like farmers and bakers and stuff, thinking like them people coming across the thing that they not gonna try and kill you, that they not gonna try and take you, and then you like, hey, look what we got, and then they be like, look what we got, right? Y'all, we have to be able to respond. We have to be able to defend. We have to be able to deploy. So like when his war came up, we supposed to be able to mobilize the army and go. I'm talking about having a trained army that can go take any ward anytime when people know how to win a precinct. And so when Will call, he say, man, I need 10 guys. Them 10 guys going to turn them votes. Because there's always next time. All right, y'all ready? Hey! This is my studio. I'm the man. I don't want to. You know who you are. I'm afraid to see who can truly be. You are tuned in to the Talk Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man, Big Otis Wilson, in the building. You know I got to say what's up to my co-host, Todd Stroger, former Cook County Board President. And y'all, we got Todd. You got to bring that mic down, man. It's making you look bad. It's making you look smaller than Big O for real.
It doesn't matter. I've always been small. I just come to live with it.
You're not standing up over there, are you?
Good point.
Oh, okay. Look, I've been over there. I know you got a high chair.
And then, y'all, that voice you heard in the background is my co-host, Todd Stroger. But, hey, y'all, WVON family, I want to take a moment, and before we even get into this, I want to take a moment and just tell us that, the millennials call me up all the time. They be like, Maze, you're so hard on the millennials. You're always talking about them, and you got to do something better. And I'm going to tell you what. I have made a commitment that going forward that the millennials and I are going to build a relationship. And one of the reasons that I have been had a change of heart as it relates to our millennials is this brother. I met him about 4 years ago. It was right after the Laquan McDonald tape had been released, and we were all headed down to Michigan Avenue. I wasn't really for the protest, but I wanted to make sure that our young people were safe, because Todd, as we both know, if the young people would, and the way they was feeling after Laquan McDonald, they was ready to tear some stuff up, and I was concerned that the police, if there were not any regular adults, not real adults, but older adults, those were our children going down there who were seeing it, that we might see something that we didn't want to see. And we had probably one of the most successful actions in the history of Chicago. Billions of dollars of economics were affected on that day. But I told y'all after that 7 days I couldn't be an activist no more, because the life of an activist is just too hard, and it make you po. Make you po. And oftentimes in those, I saw a lot of people taking TV and news cameras, and every time it was a top opportunity to be on TV, there they was. But then there was this one guy that every single time I looked up, they was quiet, just there, organizing, mobilizing, giving people. And not once the cameras was gone and wasn't sexy no more, he was there from the beginning to the end. William Calloway. So when he decided he was going to run for alderman of the 5th Ward, I was like, whoa. I was like, I don't know if that brother got a chance. The Obama Center over there, you know, he going up against princes and principalities. It's billionaires invested over there. You know, Michael said, you know the people that's like, they gonna control our community whether we like it or not. And I was saying to myself, that poor brother don't know what he getting himself into. And after gunshots, after being smeared, I watched this brother hold himself with his composure and really communicate with the people. And when he got into the runoff, I was beyond impressed. But to see this brother after he spent $25,000 against a 20-year incumbent who spent $250,000 and he only came up 127 votes short, I was like, man, we have got to talk to this brother. But y'all, let me stop talking, because right now he is in the midst of a recount battle. And I want him to tell you what's going on. WVON family, I'm sorry, Will, I had to do it. I had to preach just a little bit. That voice you hear laughing in the background is our millennial champion, William Calloway. William, welcome to the WVON Morning Show.
Thanks for having me. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So, Will, talk to me, man. What's going on, man? You've been in this. You're in this. You were in a runoff. Mm-hmm. Yesterday, they certified the election totals. They said that you. Get me right. You lost yesterday. They said that based on the vote totals, you lost yesterday by 127 votes. What's happening?
Yeah. So according to the Chicago Board of Elections, they had to, by law, they had to proclaim a winner, even though there are some major discrepancies that my campaign has found out with the 5th Ward race. But yesterday, the incumbent was proclaimed the winner as of now. But we have contested the election by law. We have that right, and we filed a motion to have a discovery recount. Therefore, 25% of the precincts in the ward, which we feel was the most problematic, will be inspected and recounted to ensure that everything was, every vote was properly casted.
So what you're saying is you get to choose what precinct you want to be.
Yeah, by law, you get to choose what precinct you want to recount, and you take those results back to the judge, right? And then if the judge see fit, and if it was huge discrepancies, the judge can trigger a full recount of the ward. But I think what people, it's going to be some interesting things that's going to come out over the next several weeks. You know, my whole life is, well, at least in activism, has been pioneering, bringing things to the light, and I think this is one of the issues that we need to bring some reform to the election process in the city of Chicago, and I think my case is going to do that.
So, Will, help me understand. So you are having this recount. Now, what discrepancies were found?
Oh man, it's like, you know, election procedure. I don't want to say too much, you know, but you know, there's an election procedure. If you read the election code and even the way they tabulate votes at the end of the night, I think if a lot of candidates understood the election code and the procedure that's supposed to happen according to the election code, a lot of people would be contesting elections. So I think we found the way that the machine won through all these decades. But I think it's another thing I do want to point out is that you can, by law, you can only contest the election if you're this close. And I think that's the problem. You have to be within a certain percentage to even be able legally to contest an election. But we have found some very, very problematic discrepancies that we have, you know, showed the judge. She read our complaint and she agreed to allow us to move forward with a recount. And that process is underway.
Well, who is the judge?
I'm not familiar with her. Her name is the Honorable Judge Clay Heron.
Okay, we'll find it. I'm gonna find out who it is.
She's an African American woman.
Okay, so let me help you out, because I gotta put this in perspective. The 5th Ward. The 5th Ward is the home of the Obama Presidential Center, the place where the community asked for a community benefits agreement. The largest project on the south side of Chicago that has been on the south side of Chicago in the past 50 years. a person who is unflinching in his desire. Now, he might not ask it the way I ask it. He might not say what's in it for the black people, but he lives what's in it for the black people.
Hey.
Now, let me ask a question. Do you really want somebody like that to be in charge of the presidential library if you a billionaire? Do y'all really think they want to talk to a Negro like that that's going to say, we need our cut? Do you think that they want to talk to someone who is not going to be complicit? Do you think that they would not do everything within their power? Hey, y'all, this is Chicago. Let me tell you. And so what I want for us to do is to be paying real close attention. See, let me just tell you, I don't know what they found, but I know this. I know that the way that this usually works is they bleed you out. The fact of the matter is, Will's not supposed to be here because he ain't even supposed to be able to have the money to be able to fight this race. See, the game is about really draining your resources to put you in a position where you can't even question it. And so, Black Chicago, it's something real going on right now. Like, real right now in front of your face. Now, it took a long time to get some counts on some precincts when this stuff's supposed to be electronic and come in the same night. I know I was looking at, like, when everybody else was at 100% votes in, you had some precincts out. I want to understand what happened there. How did that happen? Because, again, the election was over. How did they count 500,000 votes in before 9 o'clock, but they couldn't count 13,000? Y'all, Talk Chicago 1690. I'm not crazy. Maybe you are. Maybe I look crazy. We'll talk about it when we come back.
That's good. That's good. That's good.
Talking about money.
So, Will, talk about your experience, man. Tell us what you have gone through. I mean, man, you done had shootings. You done had.
Man. They tried to smear me, shot my office up. Oh, and it did, yeah. So this has been an interesting process, to say the least, but I feel very grateful. My community, the South Shore community, Grand Crossing, Woodlawn, Summer High Park, really came out real strong to support me and make sure that, I think what people fail to realize, the incumbent is very unpopular. You know, we've been 6 years in a food desert. No vision, no goal for public sector. Huh?
Is it a woman? I think it is.
Yeah. The incumbent is of African American woman, but 6 years without a grocery store, no plan for gun safety or public violence. Very problematic votes, accepting money from Rami Manuel. You know, voted for the $5.5 million settlement of Laquan McDonald. No questions asked. And I said this at the verdict of Laquan McDonald, no black elected official showed up for us. So while we was out there taking a stand, it was because of the African American journalists, the African American community organizers that pushed this issue. No elected official stood up for us. No black elected official especially stood up for us. But this has been an interesting process. I wouldn't want to go through it again. But, you know, if you fight me, you're going to know you fought me, and you're not going to want to fight me again. I think this is the lesson that I hope she and money not going to buy election. We ran a great grassroots campaign. We knocked on doors. We did the work. We didn't rely on mailers. We knocked on doors. And the ward, our ward is so diverse because you have this High Park part of the ward, and then you got places in the community like Grand Crossing and South Shore, which are socially different, economically different. And we knocked on doors, we knocked on 5,000 doors. We called over 10,000 people with 10,000 numbers. I think that's what made the difference. I was able to offset, again, along with her unpopularity in the ward, it was able to offset some stuff. So.
What would you say? What took so long with that precinct? Like, why did it take so long for your? Let's hold on to that because I'm gonna ask that on air.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask it on air because you need to tell people to understand it.
I just
hold on, save it because you're gonna have it as good the second time. You won't answer it the same. I learned that. Say the good stuff on air.
Say good stuff on air. This was a I'm gonna say that activism is intense, but nothing like this. I'm gonna keep it 100. I'm gonna keep it 100.
You playing for the marbles, bro.
Activism is intense. But
They want their neighborhood to do what they want to do.
Hey, bro, think about this. This dude is fighting Tiger Woods right now. Think about that. Y'all don't understand what y'all. I really don't think that people. Right? They go like, "Oh, not get it."
I understand. Keep Tiger out of the woods.
Look, y'all understand?
Keep Tiger out of the hood. That's what they need to do.
Billionaires. This dude. Yeah. Oh, I want y'all to go through. Think about who donated to the Obama Library. Now check this out. You go donate to the Obama Library, and they send out an email that say, there is a young activist who could potentially ruin your multiple billions of dollars that you're going to make. Please help us raise anything that it takes. Yo, I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to tell you. I almost feel like, so how can I say this? If we don't have a defense, like a real black defense, I almost feel like I'm concerned what would happen if they give it to them. So, when I tell you that if I have access to CIA, former CIA, FBI, every trick in the book will be utilized. Every single one. You think it was the fucking president of the United States? You talking about you ain't gonna give me my landmark? Yeah. You see what they did to me, right? And I wasn't taking no money. I was just trying to help a friend. You want it? Yeah. You got it? You know the words?
But they just keep on calling.
Turn this mic on.
Said I do. I'm on my right track. They take this big knife out my back. What they do? Smile in your face.
Damn, they want to take your place. Backstabbers. Backstabbers. It's the WVON Morning Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. That voice you heard in the background was Big Otis Wilson singing Backstabbers. I got my man Todd with the bass.
All the thing out of the room. He got a better voice than me. I'm gonna have to get you when you ain't looking.
You better get a big stick. You need a big stick. And then in the building, y'all, we got our guy, William Calloway. He is the millennial of the future. Will.
Yo.
Talk to me about some of the discrepancies. One of the things that I noticed on election night was as everybody was dancing around and celebrating the fact that they had Lori Lightfoot had won this thing by 70-something%. It counted all of the votes except for yours.
Yeah.
Why did it seem like it took so long for certain precincts and certain votes to come in?
I think that's a question that we're going to raise to the Board of Elections throughout this process. Again, I'm only limited in what I can really say about it because I do have a pending case. But I do want to emphasize, again, when it comes to the procedure or what the election code requires when it comes to tabulating votes at the end of the night, that is what's in question here. And I think, again, this case, my case, is going to set precedents moving forward for a lot of more cases. I do want to say, with that precinct, if 40 out of 41 precincts was tabulated, I did go to the Board of Elections the following morning to get that last precinct. It was the 5th precinct. They counted it in front of me. This is public information, so I'm not sharing it. I won the precinct 177 to 125. I go to the restroom. I come back. The elections board supervisor come up to me and said, Mr. Calloway, I wanted to inform you that in the 8th precinct, another precinct, we found an obvious discrepancy. And I said, what does that mean? He said, well, all the votes wasn't tabulated in the 8th precinct.
What do you mean they weren't tabulated?
It wasn't tabulated.
Right.
So I go on the Board of Election website from the night before to look at the vote count. It had me at 79, the incumbent at 106. So he began to say, we're gonna recount that 8th precinct right now. So he go get the paper ballots. Looked like it had to be 300 plus, ballots in the count. And they counted it in front of me and me and a couple of my poll watchers. And the final count, I went from 79 votes to 117 votes. The incumbent went from 106 to 123. This is one precinct. The rest of the precinct, by law, in order to recount them, I have to go through this process that I'm going through now. And that's one precinct that I gained almost 40 votes. Right. So these are the discrepancies that we're talking about. And even also, people voting, doing these mail-in ballots, we're finding out that people voted from abandoned houses, vacant properties, so it's going to be a process. Like, again, you got to do your due diligence. You spend $250,000 against me, you outspend me 10-1, and you still only are up technically by 100 and some votes. I think it's a problem.
So I'm gonna turn the camera to Todd Stroger, cause Big O, if you can see your face right now, if y'all was watching Facebook Live and you can see Big O face, so can I go ahead?
It's just a typical, game that they play. Somebody that doesn't have name recognition, doesn't have money, they don't take him serious. Somebody that's really trying to do good for the community, they play him down, and I'm just sick and tired of hearing stories like this. I mean, when you're in the game and you whatever means you have and you play it fair and you're doing something good, that should be taken seriously. And it should be fairly. I mean, dead people shouldn't vote. People from vacant houses that don't live there shouldn't vote.
Yeah.
I mean, just because you have money, but we know what it's about.
Now, do we really know what it's about?
Oh, there's no doubt about it. I'm gonna say it. It's about money, and it's about they want a certain area, they're raising the taxes, and they want black people out of there.
Let me tell y'all. When in church, and I use this, and I was saying it as a joke, but when you are dealing and you are battling against princes and principalities, and I'm going to tell you, our young brother right now, I said this before, and I said it on air. I said it off air. First of all, he is battling a former president of the United States. This is a person, because again, this ain't about Leslie Hairston.
Right.
This is about the Obama Presidential Center. This is about the University of Chicago. This is about billionaires who have invested and they want their monument to their legacy of their president. And so right now, our brother is fighting a battle that is so much larger than him. I'm concerned. So part of the reason that I'm saying that this brother needs to be here is because Black Chicago, we have to put our eyes and hands and see and know and let them know that we know what's at stake. Because here's the thing, my brother. All you need to do is look at whether it's OJ, look at anybody. I'm going to say OJ. I'm going to use OJ. When they want what they want, they will get the Negro how they get them. However they have to do them, you can use OJ, you can use Mark Clark and Fred Hampton. When you start messing with the power structure, they want what they want. So Black Chicago, we have to, just like hands off Kim Fox, it's hands off Will Calloway. And I'm going to tell y'all that Will Calloway got an army. Right? So look, y'all, we're going to talk about it more when we come back. It's Talk Chicago 1690 AM. Will, you hang out for a minute. We'll be back after traffic news and the weather. Well, I'm just telling you though, y'all. I don't like. Here's the thing. So guys, y'all know I tell y'all the truth. I done did this stuff, and in having done this stuff before, I understand what people are willing to do. So now, if you don't have the wherewithal to do this, and the due diligence, and the time and energy and effort, the goal is to break your spirit. The goal is to wear you out, to drag you out, to make you go to court, to make you spend your money, to make you say, I'm so tired of this. Break you. Right? Tie you up in court. And then, check this out. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't even be surprised if they ain't already came to him and said, what you want, man? Give me, what you want? I mean, you know, it's a story in the Bible, right? Where Satan comes and picks up Jesus and takes him to the top of the mountain and say, look at all of this you can have. I'll give it all to you if you just serve me, right? If you just deny your God, if you just deny your truth. It happened. Been in that situation, right? And so my guess is right now, University of Chicago, if Will Calloway decided that he wanted a private jet right now, he could get it. If he decided that he wanted to go be a multi-billionaire and open up a nonprofit and they would load it up with money, and I'm telling you they would do it. I'm telling you right now, what you are watching is a brother who is saying, no, I'm not going to take the bag. Because I know what I would have did. I know what I would have did. I would have walked up to that brother, I would have said, you would have had a hard time telling me no. Because I would have been like, this is what you got to do. In the day, my job would have been to be like, let me go. So if I can't get them financially, you better not have no baby mamas. You better not have no, you see, pay attention. If you looked at when they tried to come at him on TV, what about your payments for your, like really, you talking about parking tickets? Like that's what you got? But again, it tells you how deep they went, and that's all they could really come up with. Because if you think they couldn't come up with something else, they sure would have splashed it. It sure would have been in the mail. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That sounds like the uh-oh call. Do we uh-oh? See, the mans in them. See how the mans in them be working?
They calling already?
They calling
yeah. They calling. Well, he ain't lying when he said that. Yeah.
Oh, man. It's spicy. Yeah. It's spicy.
They've been eyeing that for a long time.
Okay, cool. All right, it wasn't the man. I thought the man now had came and got me.
Oh,
you know the phone call look, yo. Can I tell you what? I'm gonna tell you how I know that they go. You know what? Every time I said something about OPC, the Obama Presidential Center, they had somebody listening to the show and they would call and tell on me every day that I said something about it. Until finally they was like, one day we gotta stop talking. We can't tell on everything you say. Like, look. Brian Sleep was my man. I wanted to see him be successful. I want to see the Obama Center be successful. I like Mike Straumanis, right? But I know how they play. And I know that, if I'm on the other side, my goal is to remove any obstruction to me getting what I want to get done. That's what I got to do. So if I get hired to do that, that's what I do. That's what somebody or some people, I bet they got a team that is working on that brother. A team. And I'm going to tell you that throughout this whole process, I know for a fact that Rahm's team was polling the race. They were beyond scared that Will would win. Beyond scared that Will would win because, again, they done built their whole... Man, y'all talking about the Tiger Woods golf course. Y'all talking about the Obama Presidential Center. Hey, Big O. We talking about Russell Wilson. We wanted to talk about that with you.
Paid,
yes.
Playing the NFL.
Yes. Does he deserve that money?
No doubt about it.
Does he?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're going to talk about it.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about it.
He's a hard-working, good brother.
Okay.
Right.
So we're going to talk about...
I was born too damn early.
What?
Money these kids. I was born too damn early. Yeah.
65 million.
Up front, guaranteed.
I mean,
before he even step on the field.
Is he that good?
Yes.
I don't think Russell Wilson is that good.
Is he franchise? Player?
No doubt about it, yeah. Franchise player, he is the player.
I'm going to give him his props because I don't want to hate on the brother getting his money, but I just feel like, well, you know what, let me stop because I don't want to be the black.
I understand one thing.
Go ahead.
that has been the position that they had pegged as
The white boy
the
position.
white boy position.
Save it. Stop. Don't want you. I don't want you. You gotta say that for on air.
Yeah, okay.
Will, you just hanging out now? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know we gave you a.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. How can we send money to Will Calloway? So you stay out. You can just hang out with us, and you know Will still. You can interject and get part of the conversation. You know what I'm saying? You here for the rest of the show. Well, as long as you want to stay. All right, y'all.
Where'd you grow up?
I grew up. I'm adopted, so I grew up a little bit everywhere. But yeah, I grew up in Linwood, Cal City, Inglewood. I've been over in South Shore for about 10 years.
Yeah, you've been everywhere. You've been around.
True heart of Chicago.
Oh, you know how that goes.
I'm from New York. So.
No, you're not. You better not claim that no more.
I don't claim it.
Okay.
I grew up in Brooklyn.
Brooklyn.
Yeah.
It's part,
But I've been here since Brownsville. Mike Tyson, World Be Free, Eddie Mustafa, all the champs.
Ah.
Yeah.
Jay-Z.
But being here in Chicago since, well, he was on Marshall Project.
Biggie.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Crown Heights.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fulton Avenue. With the lumberjack hat.
Uh-oh. Dang. Big O trying to be like the lumberjack with the hat in the back.
Hardy hard. Yeah.
Hey y'all, take a moment, share the broadcast. Share the broadcast. Look, we at 267 right now.
Yeah. People know.
Come on, y'all. Come on, Todd.
Come on, big fella.
Hey y'all, don't forget death match, cage match, Todd Stroger, Big O. That would be like one of them old WWF days.
Yeah.
Big O's gonna wear them.
Junkyard Dog.
The wrestlers wear that come up here.
You mean the blue? They ain't no shorts. They're wearing drawers. Oh, man. I'm mad. Get down.
That ain't right.
Smoking. Oh yeah, the big payback. Did a damn thing to me. Now, brothers.
You are tuned into the Talk Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Y'all know how we do at the top of the hour. Gotta say what's up to the WVON Morning Show team. Gotta say what's up to my co-host, Todd Stroger. What's up to Annette Flournoy in the newsroom. Gotta say what's up to my man, Titus. Titus rocking us out. And Miss Sonia Tompkins. She is my super producer. Now, hanging out with us is, did I get the Big O? Big Otis Wilson, you know, that's the man, as well as sticking with us is Will Calloway. Man, he is in the battle for a recount right now. Now, I'm going to go to the phone lines because people have been calling in. They've been emailing saying, Maze, what do we do? How can we help Will Calloway? Let me go to the phone lines. Let's go to line one. Bernadette, you on the Talk Chicago? What can we?
Hey, I'm doing great. Thank you. And I remember 10 by 10 to win. I know many of some of my people went to your office, but I've been hit with some medical issues this year, and I couldn't get out there. What can I send money to you? I want to help you.
Oh, thank you. You can log on to www.callawayfor5.com. That's callawayfor5.com. That's our website. There's a donate tab there. Shout out what's in it for the black people. 10 by 10 to win was a huge part of this success factor in the Fifth Ward. So shout out to them.
All right, you know what? Shout out to Will Calloway, y'all. That's part of the reason I'm saying we got to develop a political army.
Organization. We
got to organize. Because I'm going to tell y'all what. This was ultimately winnable. Like, we could have put this thing away. If there were, we could have put this thing away in the first go-round if we had our army ready and conditioned. That's why I'm telling y'all, 50 people, 50 wards, 4 hours a month. 50 people, 50 wards, 4 hours a month. We can control our own destiny. We can elect committeemen. We can elect aldermen. We can be in control of our own fate and put people we want.
You just said something I forgot to ask Will. Are you gonna run for committeeman? Okay, thank you.
And, you know, and I do want to say this too. This is also going to come out. The committee, in a lot of the wards, the committeemen and the aldermen are the same person.
Yeah, almost all of them.
Almost every ward. The committeeman is the person who's responsible for hiring the election judges. And I just want to say that people could connect the dots.
I can connect the dots, and I'm saying that's part of the reason you want to be the committeeman. Let me just be clear. So I just want to be clear. I'm not about giving up no power. I'm just about the judicious use of the power for the benefit of black folks. So let's not, like, let me tell you, it's a reason them white folks did it that way. So they keep y'all, and they could keep being controlled. Let's not, and then when we finally figure out the plan, then they got us tricked into saying, we gonna get rid, no.
Right, now we're getting rid of the system.
Nah, we keeping that system. We just getting ready to run that bad boy. And that's the thing that I'm telling y'all. When we have the power, we have to use it. White folks' best trick is to trick y'all out of using the power you got. They gonna get us, sir.
Yep.
If we whoop them back, they's gonna get us. Get your... I'm telling y'all, stop being agrarian political people, and it's time for us to be black political warriors. Right here with us is Will Calloway. He is a black political warrior. Let me take this call. Mike, you want to talk Chicago, 1690?
Yes, sir. Good morning. And I'd like to say good morning to Mr. Calloway also.
Good morning.
I'm a retired police sergeant who went by to see Will while he was running. I made a contribution to his campaign, although I don't live in his ward. But I think what we need to do is support people like him. We need to give more than just words. We need to give some action. He needs some money to fight this campaign that he's involved in now. And I think that especially some of us older people need to get behind him and encourage him. Mr. Calloway has proven himself to be concerned about the community. Just as you and Todd pointed out, there's a lot of issues at stake in terms of money over in that ward. But I volunteered, and actually I want to comment to Mr. Calloway. I told him that if he needed me to be on election day, I was going to go and work a poll for him along with my brother Lorenzo Davis.
Mike, well, I'm going to tell you what, that's what I'm talking about. So, Mike, we got to get you, see, y'all, we got to start channeling all of this like Will. Your race is a building block to the future. It is an example of why we have to become politically organized and reorganized, because there was a process. The process has been used to marginalize us. I mean, I'm just telling you, I wanted you to win because I want the Obama Presidential Center. But you know what I want out of it? Some stuff for black people. And I know that if we got a brother like Will who ain't gonna be complicit. First I was against it, then I was for it, then wait, how did it go? He was already for the CBA. Now everybody for the CBA. It's always after the fact. Let me go to Linda. Linda, you want to talk Chicago, 1690.
Good morning, WVON Village.
What's up, sis?
Like I said before, and I'm going to say it again, call the warriors to the table. And this is one of our many warriors who needs to be at the table, not at the end of the table, but at the head of the table.
I'm going to tell you, the warriors are, you know what? We got to get this warrior through this fight. Let me say this. One of the other challenges that we have is we take on so many fronts. I think what we need to do is concentrate and focus our efforts on getting through this process with Will by making sure he's got people, money, resources, etc. And then look at this and observe this process and watch and learn, and then use that as the fuel to say this ain't gonna happen to us again. You think about this. Here is a brother. The Laquan McDonald situation was the issue of our time. It was clearly the issue of this decade. And he who spearheaded it, who rocked it all the way from beginning to end, proved himself to our community I told y'all about white folks picking. I told y'all about white folks coming to our neighborhoods picking our leaders. And so the white folks came and said, well, we know how we deal with this. We're going to go activate this group. We're going to spend $250,000. That ain't how much money they spent. That's how much money you saw.
That's right.
That's what you saw.
That's right.
When people have $250,000 to come beat up on one of our millennials, when you got to, man, no, it ain't happening like that.
And money still coming.
And money still coming, because you know what they saying? We'll give $1 billion to keep you Negroes from having a piece of that library. $1 billion. I will spend anything in the world and rather than have to talk to this Negro about what's going to be right for our community. And I'm just telling y'all, you are watching it happen right now. Right now. And then I'm going to tell you how it's going to work out. Then after they do this, then the alderman is going to exit, become a judge, and then try and grant it after 2 years to the woman that attacked you, who they put together to come attack you, because then they started martial enforcement. Remember? They brought the LGBT issue, they done brought the, right? They went and got and recruited, and then went and found a black woman to recruit it up and get it all fired up to turn black people against a black person. Really? Hey, y'all think I don't see this? Y'all think we don't see it? It's like Will Calloway right now, they are doing it to you in front of your face. To one of your own who has proved his loyalty and commitment to our community. When we come back, I'm going to take your calls. Y'all done got me on my soapbox. Dag and have it. And we'll be back after traffic and the weather.
More of the morning show with Maze Jackson coming up on the Talk of...
Oh boy, this is good. This is good. Fifth Ward, I love you. It's going to be a process. We're going to see this process all the way out. And make sure that every vote is accounted for, and make sure that we this election code was definitely followed on Tuesday night. I feel very confident in this recount.
Look, Ty stretching. He getting ready to whoop on the big O.
Uh-oh.
He's stretching out for the big O beat down.
No. That's all. Me and O gotta get paid for that.
No, you gotta get paid for that. You like, I'm not getting beat down like this. For free?
Yeah, like, I'm not gonna pay for you.
I need a fan in here.
It's more,
You can put it on left, you can put it on that.
as soon as you turn that corner, you feel it.
Man,
yeah.
The cool air?
I mean, no, as soon as you turn that corner, you feel
Oh,
it.
yeah.
And then you step outside in the hallway and it's like AC. And you got on a flannel shirt, huh? You want to come on flannel, huh?
My wife
Look,
told
you
me-
sweating your head. You took your hat off. Hair got beads of sweat coming off that mud.
Will, my wife told me to tell you I'm sorry. She donated to your cause.
Oh, tell her thank you.
So the Wilsons donated.
Oh,
to
thank you, brother. Thank y'all.
Unless
Thank
you took it out
y'all.
of my case.
That's how they do. They be like, baby, tell them,
my money.
baby, tell them we donated. We donated.
So she down for the cause, yeah.
Oh, man.
Tina was on the broadcast the other day trying to get me in trouble. She talking about some say it. I'm like, I ain't gonna say it, y'all, because if I say it, I'll be in trouble. She was like, you can say it. Oh my goodness, y'all, it is cooking in here. Whew.
Oh, just how much were Super Bowl tickets this year, you know?
Depending on where you want to sit.
Can I tell you the trick for
The minimum was $2,500.
That's the minimum?
Yeah.
Can I tell y'all how
And that thing goes up all the time.
I'm gonna tell y'all what. The Super Bowl tickets are the easiest tickets in the world to get if you got heart, right? If you got the nuts to wait till the Jets fly over.
The game time, yeah.
When the Jets fly over, them fools be like, okay, look, I've gone to at least 4 Super Bowls. And in all 4 Super Bowls, I've never spent over $500 on tickets. And I've been like straight 50-yard line at some points, right? 50-yard line, lower bowl. If you wait until the kickoff, you're going that mug for $100. Like, I used to wait. I would stand by the stadium, and then when the Jets come, then everybody started getting nervous. Right? The scalper's like, man, we're going to get stuck with these. Then if you wait till the kickoff, oh, you'll be I was sitting by these white people. They were so mad one time. Yeah, we spent $10,000. I was like, I spent $350. But I do that for every major sporting event unless I got the hookup. You know what though? I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't like going to the Super Bowl, and I don't think I'm doing like I did this year again either. I want to be able to watch my damn game. Like I was mad. I was in the wrong space. But I don't like. The only reason I go to games is to kick it. Like if I go to the game, I'm not going to watch the game.
No,
I'm going to
watch the game at home.
Yes.
I
I need that yellow line.
And go back and
I don't want to be looking. Did they get the first down? Nah, I don't want to do all that. I want to see. I get to see the grass flying on TV.
Yeah.
I get sometimes the players, depending on what TV you watch, the players be bigger than life size. At home.
You're right.
Yeah, I really don't like. I go to sporting events to be seen at the event. I go to, what's the matter?
I'm just letting you say you want to be seen.
Right, that's it. I do. I be like, hello? Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
He wants to be seen.
Yes, I want to be, see, he already famous.
I want to knock somebody out.
See, you see, he already famous. I'm trying to get famous.
Isn't that what the 90s Bulls were all about? Like everybody was just showing up.
I cannot wait for that Michael Jordan thing they doing on ESPN. The one they dropping next year with the 20-foot. What up, Will? Damn, Will. You know, let me tell y'all how special Will Calloway is. You know I don't really let nobody else do Facebook Live on my Facebook Live in my space, right? But it's all good because it's Will Calloway. What can I say, right?
Hey, I'm so humble, man. I just want to take a three-week vacation when all this is over.
That's what you're supposed to do. Like, let me tell you, that's the tradition. Like, you win or you lose. Most of the time, you win. You get on the plane, you go shake hands, and by Friday, you're on the plane. If you're a bad mug, you're on the plane on Wednesday after you go shake hands. Yes. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. You know, I wondered if Will would have won, I was going to ask him, could I have the South Shore Music Summer Festival back? Y'all know when the South Shore Summer Festival was cracking, was when I did it. You know, I brought Guy, I brought SWV, I brought Drew Hill, I brought... Man, I had the best South Shore Summer Festivals, and then your girl got mad at me because I picked Alderman and Burnett up in the golf cart at the she like, he from the west side, this is the south side. I was like, it's my golf cart. I could pick up at the Chosen Few. And then she got mad at me for that. Cause it's my ward. She got mad at me after that, and she got me fired from the festival. We in the streets without cops harassing, huh? Yeah, and then gave it to a white boy. No welfare supporters, more conscious of the way we raise our daughters. Days are shorter, nights are colder. All going eventually. State flood plate. Top dollars. Diamond Rose. We the world is mine. If I rule the world, imagine that. I free all my sons. I love them, baby. Now could it be if we was mine, we both shine? But then today, in these last days and times, you are tuned into the Talk of Chicago 1690 AM. I got my man Big Otis Wilson in the building. If you
we be on vacation every day.
He's doing Curtis Blow though. See, he's going back from his New York roots there.
Oh, he did the Curtis Blow version. All right, see, I remember the Curtis Blow version.
Flash.
See,
Furious
oh, dang, oh, Big O was there for the origins of hip hop.
Yeah.
The origins of hip hop. So we got Big Otis Wilson in the studio. I got my man Ty Stroger, and hanging out with us is the millennial of the hour. You know what I'm saying? It's our man Will Calloway. Will, you got my phone lines popping, man. I'm trying to move to the subject, but I can't because these people keep calling for you, man.
Let me throw that money in there.
They want you to be famous. Now check that out. Shout out to Tina Wilson for dropping some of Big O's money in Will's account.
Thank you.
Let me go to the phone lines. Carolyn, you're on the Talk Chicago, 1690. What's up, sis?
Hey, good morning, Mace. How you doing today?
I'm great.
I would like to say good morning to your guest and
Good morning.
of course to William Calloway. But I just want to let William know I was part of his team as well, and I just want him to let him know that he is part of the dream that Martin Luther King has stated in one of his speeches, and for him to keep on keeping on. And I heard Reverend Jesse Jackson on Saturday said how proud he was for William Calloway, and the community is proud of William as well. So I just want him to know that God got his back, and for him to keep on keeping on.
Oh, y'all gonna make me choke up.
Well, you know what? Don't choke up, man. We
choke.
need you to live,
Yeah.
so you can go ahead and make this happen.
You got
You
work
gotta be
to do.
careful.
Thank
You got work to do. All right, let me take this last call. Anthony, you on Talk Chicago, 1690. Anthony.
Mr. Kelly.
What's up, Anthony? Speak.
Kelly, we need to somehow get the younger folks to come and vote, become part of this process. I mean, look around the table. All these guys you're looking at 50, 60 years old, such as myself, we got to look forward. We got to get them involved. What do you think we can do to get them involved?
That's an excellent question. That's a question I think that everybody, not even myself, but a lot of people have been trying to figure out. But I do want to make mention, it would be impossible for me to be this close. Well, I believe I won on election night, but it would be impossible for me to have garnered the votes that I had if unlikely voters, such as millennials, didn't come out to vote. We tapped into a lot of unlikely voters, people that voted for the first time. Some people said this was the first time they have voted ever, and even since 2008 for Obama. People that are my age or younger. So we just have to be consistent. And with my generation, they rather not vote at all than they don't believe in picking the lesser of two evils. They just rather don't vote. And that's the position that we're in with my generation. I'm not saying that it's right. I'm not going to philosophize if it's right or wrong, but that's the honest to God truth. You have to give my generation a candidate that they can genuinely, authentically believe in, that they would want to go to the ballot for. Some people, when they went to go vote for me, they undervoted. They didn't vote for the mayor or the treasurer. They just voted for me, for the alderman, and that's the position that we're in. Until we find consistent candidates that my generation can believe in, we won't see an uptick with millennial votes.
All right. Well, I think we got to start figuring out. See, Todd, that's what happened to our young Democrats, right? That's where we got to stop being scared of our young people and start bringing them in the process.
Right.
You know, I learned this game.
Go ahead.
Oh, as a young Democrat. Go ahead, Todd.
No, I just want to say, Will, I want to give you kudos, because I've seen a lot of people run in the fifth ward for many moons.
Yes.
And they've always had a hard time getting the black vote to actually come out and vote, which is why the northern university side always seems to win. And you've done a great job. You just need to keep building.
Thank you. And if I can say for the Fifth Ward, it's 21 precincts on the southern end of the ward. From 71st and Cottage to the Lake, I won almost every single precinct. The only two precincts I didn't win was this sub-community called the Jackson Park Highlands. Okay, those are homeowners.
Well, we know about Jackson Park Highlands that's the South Shore home of the Afro-stocracy. You better stop it. We know it.
No, you don't really know the Highlands. I got a friend there. He's a black man.
Great people there.
We're standing there, and this white lady walks by with a dog. And I said, "You didn't say anything to her." And he said, "I don't talk to them. They talk among themselves."
Oh,
so
wow.
there's division in there too.
I got you. I feel you, because the Jackson Park Highlands is the prime land that all the white folks are trying to buy. They want them houses first for the Obama land. But you know also Jackson Park Highlands is the home of the Afro-stocracy. And don't be trying to check. I know you're trying to keep your friends, but you know I got friends over there too, but they the Afro-stocracy. Hey, look.
But that don't mean they don't care.
Oh, I'm not saying they don't care. I'm saying, but you know, the Afrostocracy.
Somebody gotta have money somewhere.
I'm trying to be one of them peoples.
Yeah.
Hey, it's the Talk Chicago.
I'm putting my hand in Otis's pocket when he ain't looking.
Hey man, you better keep your Otis. See, man, Todd. Man, you better watch that. Hands in the pocket, Todd. You gotta stop that,
See,
man.
I'm from New York. I put everything in the front pocket. If you put it in your pocket, he's stuck.
If he go in your front pocket, it's a lot of problems, and we ain't gonna.
Problems I'm leaving.
Hey y'all, it's the Talk Chicago 1690. When we come back, it is Tell Me Something Good Friday. Right? Russell Wilson just got a $65 million signing bonus and a $140 million contract over 4 seasons.
That was good for him.
That's telling him something good. Why don't y'all tell me something good when you come back? Give us a call, 312-374-8130.
More of the morning show with Maze Jackson.
Tell me something good.
1690 WVON.
All right. Big O, you got the camera. I'm about to go get these people.
Okay, today, what's today's date? Today is the 19th. Friday the 19th. I just want to say there's a lot going on in Chicago. And we as black folks, we have to stay vigilant. We have to stay true to ourselves, stick to the game plan, come together, and do what we got to do. And Brother Will, keep the fight.
Keep hope alive.
Yes.
Hope is five.
And folks of my generation, the 60 on up, we got to get back to the old school way, where they used to say young blood, where we talk to them, where we guide them, where we strengthen them, where we nurtured them, where we build them up and got them ready. We're not doing that anymore. We got to get back to the old school way. Now there's a new school, and we have to adapt, come together. Old school way, but do it the new school way. So that's my tidbit. Take that to the bank, and that's what I'm gonna live by.
Take it to the bank, cash it out.
Yes, indeed. Because I've always said, especially in our community, we don't groom folks enough. I mean, if you're in the circle, they'll talk to you, but we don't seek out good leaders.
Yeah, we should have had somebody
and visionaries. Because I mean, everybody's gonna get old. Everybody's gonna, you gotta have somebody coming behind you, especially in our community, because we ain't getting what we're supposed to be getting.
The problem is we don't get in the game. So here's the problem. Well, now here's one of the problems.
Get in the game, but they put the roadblocks up, and some of us don't feel like going over the roadblocks.
Yep.
They're lazy.
And I also think that the problem is we get our start in the game so late. Like, for black folks, like young white folks been in the game 20 years. They get in at 18, 21, right? Our guys get to the spot at 50, 60, and so they trying to ride it out at 50, 60, where they should be tapping out at 50, 60, and then passing it on to him and then getting paid because you done put your successor and your successor is going. But you saying, if I bring this young dude in, this young dude is going to be looking at me and see my weaknesses and try and take me out. So, because we try to starve our young people, let me tell you, the white folks, they make you work hard till you 23, 24. Once you through with the 23, 24, at 25, they like, you need a house, so we got to make way for you to get money for a house. We got to make way for you to pay for your food and your kids and your shelter. So it's like, if you going to lobby, then they get you lobby. If you're in a business, they going to make sure you're in a business. Black folks don't get in. I mean, think about it. Right now, I'm not tripping on Danny or Bobby, but right now, they can die in those seats. And then even if they remap it, they will remap it so that when they leave, that white people will take it and we'll never get it again. And instead of them saying, let me put somebody in now and be there and use all my clout and everything to bend this map to make sure that it stays up, we don't even have the institution. Like, to me, Danny Davis should be able to step down and go be the president of Chicago State. Go be the president of Chicago State. Go shake the trees, get money from Congress. Go be a dignitary. Go be whatever, and be straight. And then put somebody in your spot that you send to Congress, and you teach him how to maneuver, and he sends money back. That ain't what we thinking, right?
And the ones that do get in, don't forget, they buy them out.
Yep.
Made it a little funky. Yeah, don't forget them.
Well,
they sell it.
They try to make you believe that they're the only thing in town. You're not playing with us, and you're not playing at all.
I'm saying let's make our own.
Yeah, they fall for the okie doke every day. I gotta be smarter than that.
I just feel like it's like the other part I want to do. Like I feel like we got to get to a point where we're not at war with each other. Like there's got to be a point where I just feel like we got to open. Like after we get through with this election, we are under full-on assault by white folks, and we are still kicking each other's ass. Now, our black elected officials got to have a way to get back in the door. If you keep kicking their ass out the door, they're going to be like, I'm never going to do nothing, because if I do something, y'all still going to kick my ass. So, all I'm saying is there needs to be, the preachers are messed up, the streets is messed up, everybody is messed up. So ain't nobody pure in this. It's like, and everybody is going their separate way and forgot that we are the village. The village has become the Democratic Party. We need to start pulling people back in and be like, hey, yo, Nate, you black first. I know you may have forgotten, but just in case you didn't see Tony Preckwinkle's outcome, you're black. And no matter what you do, they can always pick a new nigga. Always. Right. And start opening the door to say you have to deliver. And if you deliver, we won't. It's like you can't beat somebody's ass and then they do. And you could beat somebody's ass and say, give me your money. And until they give you the money, you keep beating their ass. But when they give you the money, and if you still beat their ass, then they gonna say, well, I'm gonna get my ass beat anyway, so I ain't giving you the money. And now I'm gonna go find me a gun and go shoot you. Right? So the premise has to be, now that we see that all this stuff is happening, Tony Preckwinkle should be a wake-up call to everybody, because they getting ready to get killed. They're going to come after Kwame. And right now, we have an underdeveloped political muscle. And as it's underdeveloped, we kicking its ass too. Right. So now, it's like they already beat down. And we trying to tell them to go to the gym to work out. But it's like, before you come to the gym, you got to walk through the gauntlet. Well, shit, I'm not going to the gym. On fire. What? What I got will knock your don't. Tell me something good. Tell me that you love me, yeah. Tell me something good.
Tell me that you like it.
Tell me that you like it, yeah. You are tuned into the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my mans and them in the studio with me. I got Big Otis Wilson. Tuning up, getting ready for the cage match. Todd Stroger.
180 pounds of some stuff.
And then sticking in with us is the millennial, the generational millennial. That's right, my man Will Calloway. Y'all,
Rise to the top.
tip top. Let me tell you, Yeah, I started this last week, but I think we need to do it because, we spend a lot of time whooping on people talking about what's not good. But you know what? This is Tell Me Something Good Friday. We got Easter coming up this Sunday. Families will be getting together. I want to end the week on something positive. So let's start here. Big O, I got one for you. Here goes Tell Me Something Good. Check it out. Your boy Russell Wilson,
Yes.
quarterback of the Seattle Seahawks, got a $140 million contract with a $65 million guaranteed bonus. That is something good. But Big O,
Yes.
that's a lot of money to be playing football, man. And he kind of old, man. How much money?
Well, kind of old. The man is old. I don't even think he's 30. I don't think he's 31. He's a young man.
But is 31 is young in football for a quarterback.
Nowadays. Well, I'm glad to see he got the money because it's been a long time coming where a black man in that position wasn't supposed to be the captain, wasn't supposed to be the leader, wasn't smart enough.
Right.
And now Russell's shown that, hey, he can do it all. He can do it all. And there are other quarterbacks in the league that are superb. And I'm glad to see that they're getting their money.
So
we went through 2 strikes, 82 and 87, to get where these kids are today. And now they enjoying the fruits of their labor.
So, 60
Moon would be
another great example.
Man, Warren Moon.
Doug Williams.
Doug Williams. Whatever happened to Vince Evans, man?
Vince Evans is another one. He's in California and he's doing very well. I talked to him about a couple of months ago.
Oh, that's good. You know what, Big O, you got
still doing well.
Hey, man, Vince used to slang that rock, man. How come he couldn't never get on the floor, man?
Let me just say this.
Okay.
Little tidbit story.
Go ahead.
We in practice. Vince threw the ball. I mean, he dislocated my finger one time.
I believe it.
I mean, I'm dropping back in my zone area, 10 yards from the sideline to the hash marks covering my head. He threw the ball. I broke on it.
Okay.
Put my hand out there. Man, I went to see the trainer. He almost took my hand off, man.
Hey, man, you know what? The black quarterback. So, you know what? I'm going to tell you something.
Great individual, great quarterback. So I'm glad to see Russell has got his just due. And, I hope many more do it because it's time.
All right. I'm glad to see. When do you think the black quarterback finally got his due? Was it Michael Vick?
No, Doug Williams.
I don't think Doug Williams ever got his props,
Won a
man.
Super Bowl?
I'm saying he was the man.
Started.
But did he get his props though?
Yeah,
he got his props.
I don't think he got his props.
I don't think he got his props.
I mean, even when you look at those things like on ESPN, they talk about him, but they're like, yeah, he was a quarterback with the Redskins. They don't really say this guy brought them there, and he was the only player for Tampa Bay.
Yeah, well, he truly was. I mean, he was their whole offense. But I mean, I think it started with him and Warren Moon. And don't forget Joe Gilliam back in the day with the Pittsburgh Steelers. So he got his just due, but now it's finally tuned and polished now with his kids.
I think you can be a black. I think you can now be a black quarterback. You can be.
We are the league.
Bingo.
We might not be getting it just due.
Right.
Because we can get concussions, but we can't have a conscience.
I think Randall Cunningham.
Oh, Dad. Hold it. Stop. Because you just missed one.
Should I say it again?
Hold on, because we just missed one. And so y'all need to get ready to tape this, record this. I need y'all to hear this, because I don't think the NFL heard it. I don't think everybody got that. One more time, Big O.
So they want us, we can go out there and get concussions, but we can't have a conscience.
Concussions, but can't have a conscience. So you ain't, man, dang. Let me tell y'all, that is something, you told me something good. That was beyond deep, that was something good. All right, Todd, what you got this week that was good, man? Tell me something.
Meeting people about doing more things.
So people see, look at Todd. See, man, Todd. Now see, he done got famous. Now he don't want to do no business with me. See, we was supposed to.
I always start out by saying, Maine said it.
And then they be like, get your butt up out of here. Get up out of here. You know what? So Todd, that was your tell me something good. I'm gonna tell you. I think that Todd. I think Todd, you about time they take care of you, man. And we're gonna be having to talk to Tony Perkins, make sure she's doing her part too. All right, William Calloway.
Oh, I'm up next.
Tell me something good.
Recounting the 5.
Oh,
Yes.
They don't get no spicier than that.
let me tell you. So I think I found me a new millennial word. Spicy.
Spicy.
The wheel is spicy. So I'm gonna be like that. Hey, y'all, give us a call. 312-374-8130. Tell me something good.
Anything.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you a few things good. The one thing good is, y'all know I be super proud of my wife, right? So I'm super proud of my wife, President Carrie Steele, because for the last 2 years, the MWRD has had a challenge in getting ethics reform done. And while there have been many people before her, it was awesome to see her be able to pull the votes together and actually get it done and get it over the hump. So I'm proud of her because there's been a lot of people that have been putting roadblocks in her way, and she's been able to move forward. What has been good? I wrote something down. Hold on. My daughter. I get to pick up my daughter today. So she's coming home from college today from the University of Kansas. Yep. Well, no, it's not actually spring break. She didn't kick it with us for spring break. She was, she did like a college kid. And you know what? First of all, I was like, when did my daughter turn into a white kid? Because she went she went somewhere for spring break. And I'm like, y'all wish I could go somewhere for spring break. I was around here talking about I need to work for spring break.
Yeah, right.
So I get to see my daughter. I'm gonna tell you another good one. Beyonce Homecoming. I know people are laughing. You might laugh at me for that one, but I really think that documentary was very inspirational, and I think it's going to. It had me singing and being in a happy space. But I also think it's going to inspire a lot of young black kids to go to HBCUs. Yes, and then Game of Thrones came back out this weekend. I'm a Game of Thrones. You know I'm Team Lannister still, right? You know I'm Team Lannister. You know what I'm saying? What you got? Tell me something good. How much time do I have before I gotta go to traffic and weather? When we come back, Tamiko, I see you. We'll take that. Anybody else, you got something you want to tell us good? I'm gonna ask y'all in the studio too, so y'all better start thinking. It's Talk Chicago, 1690 AM. We'll be back.
We'll be back.
No, but I think it was Randall Cunningham who actually started getting recognition.
Man, Randall, did you play Randall on Tecmo Bowl? If you had Randall Cunningham on Tecmo Bowl.
Well, I still don't think Randall's numbers really matched up to Warren Moon and Doug Williams.
No.
No, that wasn't the question, though. I'm just talking about recognition. That white people recognize that.
You thinking that you a football player.
No, but I mean, I played against the guys. I watched them, I listened, I see who they give, the publicity to, and they really never talked. They talked Donovan McNabb. They talked about him when they did Randy Cunningham.
I agree with what you're saying, but I'm saying that, like, for black kids that I knew, in my age, like, if you was trying to be a black quarterback,
Michael Vick or Randall Cunningham.
Well, Michael Vick was second. Michael Vick came when I was like old. When I was a kid. Yeah, when I was a kid though. And if you was, I'm 48, man. That's old.
That's young.
Shoot, tell my daughter that. But like when I was in college.
That's what it is now.
When I was in college though.
You ain't had halftime yet.
If you was black and you was trying to be a quarterback, Randall Cunningham was the dude. Like, I just think about Tecmo Bowl. Randall Cunningham on Tecmo Bowl was the most awesome running quarterback ever. He was like having Bo Jackson on Tech. Did you ever play? You ain't played no video games.
But I know all about him.
Damn, like the 85 Bears. That's one of them ones when you play Madden. Do you ever play Madden with your own self?
I've done it. Yes, I have. I got nieces and nephews.
Man. Uncle Otis. Could you imagine?
That's you. Like, yeah, that's me. I only got $2,500 out of that.
What?
Yeah.
What?
$2,500 out of that.
You only got $2,500?
They never showed anybody's face. They just showed everybody from the back.
Right.
And because they showed us from the face, they had to pay us.
Really?
So they gave us $2,500 and that was the end of it.
Big O, so is there anything that you get residual from?
Nope.
Like in the league or?
No.
Like from, not even from being on the 85 Bears and all of the.
Not even the Super Bowl shuffle?
Nope. I think back in our day, man, we had to fight for everything we got.
Man.
We had to fight for it. I mean.
You must sound like Kurt Flood to me.
We still fighting, because I mean, the collective bargaining agreement is coming up in another year, and we got to fight again to get some more money.
Now, where do you fight? You fight through the Veterans Association?
No.
Or you still in the
Association?
You still in the NFL Players Association?
They still, someone quote unquote try to say they work for us, but it's always working for the current players.
Okay.
Which don't need it. Look at that. You don't need no damn players.
Do you have a
fucking crazy already?
Do they give you a pension?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can take my pension at 55. I can take it at 45 and 55.
Now, what do they base it on? Your salary, or do they base it on the league?
Years in the league, I'll be in the league 4 years.
Okay.
After that, you vested, and then you credit it for every year after that. So I'm credited for 10 years.
Is there a maximum amount they can go past?
Well, every year that you in, that dictates what you get.
If you can make it to 15, then you're gonna get more than if you played.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. But is it a set amount per? Like, is yours gonna be the same as, say?
Everybody that's 10 years is the same.
Okay.
Okay.
You play 11, 12 every year.
It's not based on stats. It's not based on salary or nothing.
Whatsoever.
Just stay in the league.
Only thing is based on you have to play 4 years.
Okay.
Early morning,
late afternoon,
or at midnight, oh, it's never too soon. Who knows what that? Turn me on, I'm your boogeyman, I'm your boogeyman. Do what you want, I'm your boogeyman, I'm your boogeyman. Turn me on, I'm your boogeyman, I'm your boogeyman. Do what you want.
You are tuned in to the Talk Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Mace Jackson. Got my man, Todd Stroger. Got Big Otis Wilson in the building, y'all. It is Tell Me Something Good Fridays. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, know what? I'm excited. I'm gonna have some good food this weekend. Big O, you on the grill? How you doing your Easter?
No, well, as usual, in church on Sunday.
Okay.
Gotta give thanks to the
What church you go to?
Apostolic Faith.
Okay, go ahead.
Dr. Smith, Horace Smith.
Oh, okay. I know. Y'all got the big fancy church.
Yeah.
Okay.
Costs us a whole lot of money, too.
Good Lord.
They be looking at
you on the deacon board? They be like, hey, man. Let me see that. All right.
No, I'm not on the board. I'm not on the deacon board, but I'm sitting in the pews and go have some brunch somewhere after that.
Oh, you gonna go have some brunch? Okay, they ain't got you cooking.
Oh,
look at Big O, man. That's the move. All right, Ty, what you doing for Easter?
Man, I haven't asked my wife what I'm doing yet, but
So you don't run the house, you run around the house.
Yeah, exactly.
At least you admit it. All right. Look, I don't know what I'm doing yet. I think I know I'm gonna be watching me some Game of Thrones though. I think I might have to get on the grill. Let's go to the phone lines. It's Tell Me Something Good Friday, literally on Good Friday. Let's go to Ruby. Ruby, you on the Talk Chicago? Tell me something good. Hey, Ruby.
Hey, Maze. How you doing?
I'm good. Talk to me. What's good?
What's good is that you got one of my favorite people in the studio with you, Will Calloway.
That Will Calloway is something else, ain't he?
Yeah, he's the real deal. If people don't know it, now they do.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. Like he said, thank you. He over there hobnobbing with the stars right now. You know what I'm saying? Doing this thing.
He recognizes my voice.
That's good stuff. He giving you a shout out right now. All right, Ruby, thank you. Thank you for telling us something good. Tell me something good. Wow. Janie, is it Janine? Janie?
Hi, this is Janie.
Hey, Janie, tell me something good.
Black on black love. Brothers still stop and help you when your car breaks down, and when you're in the line, put a 10 spot and buy somebody's meal. and just share that love. I see it all the time. We never hear about it. And then the second thing, real quick, is we need to share how powerful and wonderful we are. There's a video out there, Black people invented everything. Send that to every young person you know. They don't know our history. We are awesome.
I'm going to tell you what, that's why we got Tell Me Something Good Fridays. Because if you was to listen to the news and watch the news and listen to people, you would think that it ain't nothing good going on for black people. And I'm going to tell you, every day I witness something great. Speaking of witnessing something great, let me talk to my girl, Tamiko. Tamiko, you want to talk Chicago? 1690. Tell me about what happened.
How you doing?
Hey.
Right, how are you?
Hey, I told y'all, this is my show. Go ahead, Tamiko.
Hey, Todd.
Hey, how come you did? Look, she said, this is what she did. She said, hey, Bigo. Hi, Todd.
I understand that.
What's up, Tamiko? Tell me something good.
My baby got accepted into UFI.
Congratulations.
Program.
ILL. That's what I'm telling you. She gonna make that big chop because you know the best school in the state of Illinois is the University of Illinois.
Engineering, that's a great thing.
So improve that access and exposure to the right thing matter.
That is what I'm talking about, and that's why we got to make sure that we have opportunities and we pour back into our young people because they can make us proud. They continue to make us proud. You know what I want to talk about? Thank you, Miko, and I'll talk to you later on today. Let me tell y'all something. So one of the things that I've been going back and forth with myself about is what happened downtown and these young people that came downtown and the way that it was reported. Let me just say that if you recall, just a year ago in the summer, we saw videos of white kids brawling, acting disrespectful, spending money. I'm not spending money, but acting disrespectful, smoking, drinking, doing their thing on North Avenue Beach. And there was no police cameras that were tracking them, and there was no story in the paper that said that mobs of violent teens, etc. Teenagers are gonna be teenagers, but I think it's very important that we watch how our young people are characterized, because if we address them and call them wild animals, then let me just be clear that when the police shoot and you see them put those deer antlers on them and have them hanging that stuff out their mouth, you were complicit. Now, we know that there has been a systemic cutting of resources in our communities. We got black folks telling us to take the basketball rims down in the neighborhood so the kids can't even play in the park around their corner.
Right?
We cannot be the enemy of our children. Trust me when I tell you, they are going to face plenty of enemies You know, and I think that as we see our young people going downtown, maybe we need to take a page out of the book. Maybe we all need to have a black parent patrol or a black parents go down, because I'm telling you, all it takes is some kid to get shot in front of Water Tower Place. You got alderman, the second ward alderman, calling, saying that these kids are criminals and saying do whatever. Maybe we need to, when we know that there's going to be a large influx of our kids, maybe we should make sure that we are all taking some time and going down. They knew at 8 o'clock in the morning, and the police tracked them. Do y'all see they had helicopters following them kids? Helicopters.
Well, my thing is, there's nothing wrong with a group of black kids getting together, and it's a free country, and it's free space. I mean, why can't you go downtown? I mean, you don't, number one, call them super predators or what, all the words they use. Two, you don't bring a huge police force and then start rounding people up, giving them an excuse to act crazy, then lock them up, and then say, see, this is why we don't want them down here.
Right.
They know what they're doing.
They know exactly what they're doing. And
so I fault the police department a little bit for, inciting some of that.
And I'm going to say this. When people say come get your kids and get your parents, I'm going to say this. Let's get our kids. Let's create safe environments, and let's make sure that they are not victims of their youth. Because I'm just telling you, I did everything that them kids did. And more.
Yeah.
And so I just want to make sure that we are not the people that put our kids in the graves, especially on this Easter weekend, because we can't raise them from the dead. Hey, y'all. This has been the WVON Morning Show. It's been a great week. I want to say thank you to Annette Flournoy, and I hope you have a great weekend with your family. Titus is bringing us in. He's landing the plane. Titus, you did an admirable job filling in for Sonia Escobar, the music conductor. You are on the wheels of steel. Shout out to my girl, Sonia Tompkins. She's my super producer. Hey, y'all make sure y'all put y'all arms of protection around Will Calloway. We putting praying a hedge of protection around him, because I'm telling you, he fighting princes and principalities. For my man, Big O, it's always a pleasure to have you. Todd, go ahead and have your meeting, man. Go save the world. Don't forget the little people. Hey, and for everybody else, you all have a great weekend. And if they don't like it, and you know they didn't like it this week, you can still tell them, May said, we out of here. Peace.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure. Thank y'all for everybody on Facebook and YouTube for tuning in. Big O, you and I should chat regarding the opportunity.
Okay.
Yes, and no, I'm right there.
You want to go have a drink somewhere?
I want to talk about it sober. I don't want to talk about it with
We
you.
got Kool-Aid.
Yes.
We have to drink.
I drink afterwards because we'll be
I
toasted.
drank enough last night. We got the cigar bar just with that damn Richard and Jim Reynolds and everybody.
See the ballers. The big time. See Big O, y'all know.
Bill came like, oh man.
Big O say, if that's when y'all gotta say, Big Jim, come get this. You just made $1 billion in municipal change.
$100. No, everybody should be. Ain't no come get this.
I heard that. That's how it's supposed to be, though. That's how it's supposed to be. I hate going places when it's just, this what happens for me every time I go somewhere. That's why I stop going out with people. It's like everybody kicking and we having a great old time, and then the bill coming, everybody got to go to the bathroom, and they start looking short, and it's crazy to me because it's almost embarrassing. Like the check come and nobody reaches, so it just be sitting there, and then I be feeling obligated to look. But I be like, man, I ate the least out of all you.
If you're going to look, that means you want the bill.
Man.
Right, you touched it.
You touched it. So that's why I don't know about. Is that the rule?
That's the rule.
Take care of yourself. Good seeing you, baby.
You too.
It's almost that time.
Almost.
Get that golf ball.
Woo. I
Yes,
pulled
sir.
out after this. I know you want something.